What's up, stranger?
Stress. Been looking for work.
What you looking for?
2 ounces of hard white.
Bitch.
People are always asking me, Kiki, the books that you write, is that about you? Is that about your life? I used to rob drug dealers. I used to traffic drugs. I was a savage. I used to get it, and I didn't care who I got it from.
I've been looking for you for 2 weeks. Where is my money?
And now I can sit here and show you guys a glimpse of my life before I turned it around.
I'm gonna ask you one more time, Kiki. Think harder, right? Where's my goddamn money at?
Mrs. Santana, you look stunning. What are you wearing? And tell us about this new venture in the fashion industry.
I'm wearing a piece from my own line. It's called Kais, designed by my brilliant partner and friend, Karen Blackwell.
Wow. Look at Adriana Santana. She's hot. I don't see Lewis anywhere, though. I noticed Sheldon Chisholm and his family are here. Not to mention the other half-dozen criminals in here.
Oh, no, you don't. We're here to have fun.
But why are you here alone? Where's your recently acquitted husband, Louis?
Louis is back home resting. He has his share of bright lights and cameras. We just want to leave that whole thing behind us.
No work today. We've been here for 5 minutes and you're already profiling people? Come on now.
And what else are you looking to see tonight?
All of my friends and to show off her brilliant work. Everything that you're about to see.
We can't wait for it.
The only reason I invited you is because you're my best friend and we never get to spend time together. Plus, you're killing it in that dress. Here comes Jess. I wanted to introduce you to.
Chastity, the social media influencer and rockstar killer. Maria, from Miami. And Lucy, aspiring actress. Sydney, hip-hop lover and writer, so I'm told. And my quiet one, Mackenzie. Well, hello, ladies. I'm Bella. I have a question for everyone. Why do you think rich men cheat? Control.
I'm going home.
Don't go.
Attention.
You bring the total package to the table. You just need the right friends.
Are you my friend?
No, but you can be mine.
And power.
I stuck my neck out for you.
Thank you!
And I pulled the strings to get you onto this show.
Take all three away, and he becomes desperate.
So, what's with the apples?
Well, it represents knowledge, wisdom, beauty, and power. Here, you will learn how to gain ownership of all.
I'm gonna send you the money for the ticket, and I already have your room set up at the Palms.
You do that, babe. Because once you have possession of the apple, no man alive will have power over you.
You make it sound so easy.
Oh, it's not easy.
Brett, look, I'm sorry.
Save it! Save it!
I get no auditions.
I'm gonna stop you right there.
I get no callbacks.
I really need to get upstairs. They stole all my money.
I don't know who the fuck you think you are,
but you're no better than the rest of us.
Right now, they have a do not disturb until this afternoon. If they call you, great.
How is he gonna call me if he doesn't?
If not, charge it to the game.
Make no mistake, ladies. In order to succeed in this game, you must be willing to play it out till the very end.
This business is all types of savage. What are you doing?
But if you follow my blueprints, I guarantee you will become a millionaire within the next 3 years. Possibly way earlier. So, are you ready to take that step?
Another day, another dollar. Ain't about money, don't you holla. 100 miles and racing, and that money conversation been my only motivation, yeah.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Catherine Nunez, and you're watching Real Talk with the director and the counsel on the IE network.
Real Talk.
Hey, I'm Gina Lou, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hey, what's up? It's Logan Browning, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Real Talk.
Hi, this is Alana De La Garza, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, I'm Diane Franklin from Better Off Dead and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. You're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, this is Monique Capri, and you are watching Real Talk with the Director on Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, I'm Stormy Maya, and you are listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
It's Vicky Judy, Orange is the New Black, and I'm here with Real Talk.
Yo, what up? This is Jay Ellis, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio. Keep it locked.
Hi, I'm Rita Parks, and you're listening to Real Talk Radio with the Director. Hey, I'm Issa Rae, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Nothing more, nothing less. What's going on? Welcome to another edition of Real Talk with the Director and the Jedi Council. I'm the Director. We'll be with you for the next 120 minutes or so. And Real Talk is brought to you each and every Monday by B2S Media. We broadcast live via the World Wide Web on youtube.com/IE Network TV and Twitter, aka X, and the social network itself, Facebook. So, and brought to you by the Minnesota Vikings. Just had to throw that in there. Yes, sir. Another win. And it's funny. It's even better for me here in Atlanta because I got to walk around today with my Minnesota Vikings cup. And I went into the office today. And I had my cup. I put it down on the table, and I just took like 3 steps back and stood there. And everybody who walked in saw me standing there with my cup runneth over. And yeah, they weren't too happy with me today. I woke up and chose violence this morning, people. I said, you know what? I'm tired of people talking about my Vikings. Everybody was, down here in Atlanta. Oh, Kirk is going to go back. He's going to beat the Vikings. He's going to da. Yeah. Number 14, 5 touchdowns later. So anyway, Vikings are rolling, man. We're rolling. That's 4 or 5 in a row we won. Something like that. Anyway. It's all good, man. We got 11 wins. That's all that matters. Right? So, there you go, man. We just gotta catch those dang Lions, man. So that's what up. Yeah, what's up, man? What up, cuz? Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Yeah, man, we doing it right now, man. We trying to get that dub, trying to get it in, man. I just think we've definitely surprised a lot of people. Surprised me. I didn't expect us to be in this position at this moment. But on a downside, it puts us in a not a tough position for me. But I ain't the one signing the contracts and cutting the checks and making the offers. It does put us in a position now. Do we offer Sam Donald? Has he earned another contract, a longer term contract with the Vikings? The answer for me is yes. We got the kid who was gonna start, but I think everything happens for a reason, and fate and the football gods made it so the kid was not able to start this year. He got hurt and injured, unfortunately, and everything kind of just played out for Sam Darnold. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, we got a good show tonight. Got a lot to talk about. We'll get to it ASAP. I'm going to go with the weekend recap brought to you by BoxOfficeMojo.com for the weekend of December 6th through the 8th. Number 5 on the list is Red One, made $7 million this week. Red One is now at $164 million after opening all the way back November 15th. So Red One, I don't think it really made the money considering all of the people that are in it. You got Dwayne Johnson, you got Chris Evans, and there's a whole bunch of people in it. Star-studded cast. Those films don't seem to do as well as they used to. Like maybe people are just over some of these people. They don't want to really run to the theaters and see them. Number 4 is Pushpa, The Rule Part 2, $9.3 million over the weekend. It made it just opened this weekend. So yeah, 9.3 million is the number. Then we have coming at number 3, Gladiator 2 made another 12.6 million over the weekend, putting the worldwide total at $368 billion. And then you have number 2, Wicked, made 36.4 million. Already closing in on $500 million worldwide. It's $457 million worldwide. So, and it's going to pick up steam because now we just earlier today, the Golden Globes, award seasons has officially started today. The Golden Globe nominations are out. We'll go over that today. And yes, as you might have guessed, Wicked is definitely in there. So that's going to up the sales in the in the box office. So number 1 this week at 51.3 million over the weekend, Moana 2. Opened November 27th. It is now over $500 million. It's at 599.2 million, $100 million. So it's almost at 600 million worldwide. So Moana 2 is just cruising. And that is your weekend recap. Brought to you by BoxOfficeMojo.com. All righty. Shout out to the chat room. Everybody that came through. Hello, everybody. We appreciate you. What's up? What's up? Thank you for that shit. And then we got, Joseph. What's up, brother? Welcome back. I don't think you were here last week, right? Appreciate you. So yeah, man, we'll get right into it. We got a few things we're going to tackle today. Bring up the little list here. Oh yeah, so I want to talk briefly about how good was the ArrowVerse, the CW, DC comic shows. The ArrowVerse ran for about 10 or 12 years or something like that. bunch of shows. What's up? Thank you for joining us. How important was it? How good was it? If it was any good, was it important? We want to briefly talk about that. We're gonna ranking the Superman. We're just gonna kind of bring up the Superman, go over the with Superman being the talk of the thing right now of films, because James Gunn just won't stop talking about it, even though he hasn't put it out yet. Hasn't put out the trailer yet, but he just keeps talking about this film and trying to get people hyped about it. So we're gonna go do the rankings of the Superman actors. We'll rank them, go over them real quick. I did see the documentary. It's called Super/Man: The Christopher Reeve Story, and it's a very powerful documentary. Of course, it's sad. Have your box of tissue next to you, because it's very, very sad. I mean, the whole situation, but very encouraging as well. A lot of the things, if it wasn't for that gentleman, who, that's how people always say, he truly was a Superman or a superhero, because he, it's because of him that a lot of the research that we see now with stem cell and just all of the stuff that's helping people who might be paralyzed walk again, including the technology, all of that stuff, a lot of it is contributed to him from this foundation, the money that it's raised, and him just being relentless. So that was very interesting documentary. I really, really loved it. Someone said, sucks Cavill don't want to be Superman no more. It's not really him. He wanted to be Superman. He came back, and we thank you for that comment. But he did want to. He did come back. It was Warner Brothers that really kind of screwed him over, with James Gunn kind of in the background, and he could have stepped in, and he could have said, but James Gunn is a guy that's going to always want. I knew from day one when he took over and he was announced the president of the DCU that he was going to try to completely get away from the DCEU, the DC Extended Universe, and I knew he was going to get a super, cast his own Superman and his own characters. A lot of times he'll cast. Surprised he didn't cast his brother as Superman. A lot of times he cast. Don't get me wrong. I ain't even gonna front. I'm not even gonna act like I wouldn't cast my family members either. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I'll lie for you before I lie to you. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So I ain't going to lie to you. Yes, you know what I'm saying? So I get it. I'm not getting mad at him. I'm never mad at him for that. But he likes to put himself in positions that are not ideal. So he kind of looks a little better than what he is. He's really good. He's an excellent writer. But I mean, he likes to take on the more, we talked about that a little bit last week. The B teams. That's why Guardians of the Galaxy was so good, because no one expected anything. No one had any expectations. So, but anyway, now you got a big expectation because it's Superman. And he's bringing in a Superman that has to step in. Now he has to step into Cavill's shoes. See, Cavill had, well, of course, every Superman actor is going to be compared to Christopher Reeve, right? But Cavill was the first Superman that has been compared to Christopher Reeve and won. Like I've never, up until him, I've never seen anybody be compared to Christopher Reeve, and they say that they feel that this guy's a better Superman than Christopher Reeve. Now, of course, majority of people always say Christopher Reeve, and I'm on the fence. I think Christopher Reeve is just the standard to play Superman. For Superman, he is the standard. Everything about him, from the height to his demeanor to the way he played Clark Kent, the way he, all of that stuff, he is the standard. However, Man of Steel, at its core, to me, was a better film, was a better story. It was a better story. I won't say it's a better film than the original Superman, but to me, it was a better story. It was, for the times, it fit the times, just like the Superman story fit the times. That's why I don't like to compare those two movies, because they are movies of their times, and they both fit the times of that they came out. And but I personally like the Man of Steel story better, especially in hindsight. Of course, when we first watched Superman, that was the first real superhero movie that we saw, and they really did well on the effects and making him look like he's flying. And they really went, like, everybody thought it was going to be like a joke, and it wasn't a joke. And Christopher Reeve really took the role serious can be, because he was a theater actor. He was a serious actor, and he did not want he didn't want it to be campy. He didn't want to become what's my man's name from Batman? Adam West. He didn't want to become Adam West. Where Adam West, even later when they brought him onto Family Guy, Adam West is always kind of seen. I mean, he's respected as Batman, but he's still kind of like, you talk about him in a joking, funny way. No one brings up Adam West when they really are comparing the Batmans from the films. And, they start talking about Keaton and Bale and Affleck. These are people that they talk about. So, anyway, we'll get into that. And Golden Globes again. Also, a couple other things. So let me bring in our Jedi Council, and we also have sitting in with us yet again. He did so good last week. Did so nice. We wanted him twice. Here is our boy 42. Welcome back, brother.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Appreciate you for coming back. Short notice. And
I love it. Are you kidding me?
Y'all in the buildings, man. Everybody.
What's going on, everybody?
Hey, everybody. What's going on?
What's going on, fellas?
So before
Ralph,
we get into
good to see you guys again.
You too,
yeah,
good
man,
to see you.
So good to see you, brother. Before we get into all of that, we do have some, I'm putting quotes, breaking news, if you want to call it that, in the world of entertainment. We don't cover a lot of stuff outside of film and television, but this is kind of television because, So now, apparently, Jay-Z has been also named in one of these Diddy lawsuits, one of the many Diddy lawsuits that this guy, Tony Busby,
One of
whatever.
many, yes.
Yeah, one of many. Tony Busby, who is well known, at least in the area in Texas and stuff like that, as kind of like a shyster type of lawyer, Jack Leg
Ambulance
lawyer.
chaser.
Yeah, ambulance chaser. Ambulance chaser. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, Jay-Z had released a statement. I'm not going to read it verbatim, but you guys can look it up. It basically says, and I'm paraphrasing, this is not verbatim. It basically says that he was contacted some time ago, and an extortion letter was sent to him in the form of some other thing he said, but basically it was an extortion attempt, and threatening to name him in one of these lawsuits and give all these things and blah 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 blah. 13-year-old girl allegedly, and this and that and that. So Jay-Z answered very swiftly. When Jay-Z does not even deal with social media like that.
His PR guys are all over this stuff. They're
Oh
all
yeah,
over it.
he sent a statement ASAP, and they wanted you to know, the PR guys, the PR team wanted you to know that this was from Jay-Z, and he basically said, in a nutshell, I dealt with people like you in the past. What you're accusing me of is so heinous. If that's the case, I challenge you to take it to criminal court. Because if anybody who has he basically said anyone who has attempted or done these type of crimes, committed these type of crimes, should be in prison. You shouldn't be trying to just get money from them. So
Right.
if that's the case, let's go to criminal court. And he also said, once again, paraphrasing, that he takes these type of allegations serious. He's from a neighborhood. He said he is not from this, their world, meaning like, the world, corporate, whatever.
Yeah, he's
from
not a corporate
Brooklyn.
guy.
Right. He's from Brooklyn. He came out he got it from the mud. And he said, and we don't play nonsense like that in Brooklyn. We protect children. So now
Right.
you are going to put me in these type of allegations. And I've dealt with people like you all my life. And I know how to deal with you. He said, so now, he said,
the part of his
basically.
statement that got me the most, did you notice that in not just his deflection that you're talking about now, where he's like, I'm innocent basically, and this is bullcrap. Not just that, but he actually told everybody how, listen, he says, I had to sit down with my kids. Do you understand what this means? Like, I had to sit down with my 3 kids, and I had to mourn the loss of their innocence because this guy right now.
Yeah, no, that's true. That is a good point. He says in there, once again paraphrasing, but he basically says, now, because I have to address this, I have to sit down with my children, one of them who is old enough to understand what's going on.
Yes.
And probably not far from the age that they're accusing that he, SA'd, as they call it, right? And now I have to explain to them why people with greed and this and that, and why people do these evil things to try to break up families and tear down people and their spirit. And he said it's a shame and he has to do that. But he did say also in there, basically, you got my attention now, and now I can't wait to show you how I deal with exactly how I deal with people like you. But I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what he's saying. He's basically saying, now
No fear.
you effed around, now you're gonna find out.
Yeah. Jay-Z got no fear right now, which makes me kind of trust him right now because he ain't fearing this at all.
You're not fearing this, and he's going to dig into. I always said, certain celebrities, if you're a celebrity out there, you live a certain life, whatever. Celebrities should have what I like to affectionately call the I got time account, which basically means you squirrel away a little money every time you get money into this account. And this account is strictly for the people that are dragging your name through the mud, defamation, defaming you, accusing you of stuff. And you know what? A lot of times celebrities don't have time to deal with that stuff, but you got to have an I got time account where you can just say, you know what? I got time. Let me grab this buddy. Let me fight this thing. Let me sue this person and let them understand that you ain't just going to play with me. You ain't going to play with my name out there like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much what he said in there. Don't play with me. And this is what it is. And like I said, everything obviously is alleged, whatever. I'm not going to get into the whole, the so-called this guy, and he answered Jay with this, oh, I'm not going to be bullied and blah blah blah. This dude, I know cats out of I know a lot of cats that are out of Texas. I don't know if he's out of Houston or wherever he's from, and these people are like, yeah, we know this dude. He's always been this type of guy. He has a track record for doing this type of thing. I mean, the guy opened up a hotline and basically made it open season, saying, hey, you think you was assaulted by somebody? Call this number. If you was assaulted by one of these celebrities, call this number. Basically, translation, if you're looking for a come up, call this number. I mean, and that's what it is, but he's disguising it as concern. He's disguising it as he's disguising it as concern. He's disguising it as that he cares. And that is not the case. So, I mean, this alleged victim says that she when she was 13, she had an encounter with Sean Diddy Combs, and now she's saying Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z, and she allegedly had an encounter with them after the VMA Awards that she claimed. Now she's 13 years old, claims that she got dropped off at the VMAs by somebody, and I don't know, she was trying to get in the VMAs, and then supposedly allegedly Puffy's driver told her, yeah, well, you can't get in, I can't get you in the VMAs, but if you come back after, you could go to that after party. Now she, the driver was never named. So, because if you're going to bring something like that up, now you have to name the driver, because if this was true, that makes him an accomplice.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So now you got to name the driver. I don't think they named the driver. They probably ain't got a name yet, because they probably ain't made one up yet.
They probably can't even describe him, is my guess.
Right. They can't even describe. They're going to have to research. They're going to give the lawyer time to research of who was Puffy's driver around that time, and come up with something like that. And then you're going to drag another person into this who may or may not even be involved. Right. So, but supposedly the driver takes her to the after party. She encounters and has drinks and all this other stuff. So you getting into this after party. Oh, man. The whole thing with the VMA, let me just give y'all a quick little
Wes, hold on 1 second, because I want to add this point to it. First of all, supposedly the girl was dropped off there by her father.
Or something like that, or a friend, or I don't know. Whoever it is.
But what father drops their kid off or something like that?
A 13-year-old kid.
Exactly. What father would do that? So the father should be hung out on the ledge too. Sorry,
and
bro.
doesn't not only drops her off, but doesn't come back at the end of the show to pick her back up.
And doesn't realize she hasn't come home.
Right.
And not for nothing, the VMA tickets aren't exactly cheap. I mean, it ain't like it's like
no. She didn't have tickets. She didn't have tickets. And here's the deal. I'm gonna give y'all a little nugget. As you know, I'm the creator of Block TV, and we've covered a few of these things before. So I think I know a little bit about award shows, red carpets, and things like that. And not only have I covered them, I've worked for award shows. I've worked at the Essence Awards. I got a little bit of experience here. And I'm going to tell you this. Whether or not she got into the VMAs, whatever, you are not let but 50 feet of these buildings without credentials. It doesn't matter who you are. I don't care if you work for MTV. If you don't have credentials, move it, kid. Move it, kid. Sorry. Get out of here. Oh, wait. So she's hanging around the VMAs. What did she do all that time to when the VMAs was over? She definitely didn't go inside.
No.
She definitely didn't get inside, because you either get, if you don't have credentials, you got to know someone who has credentials that can get you in. I've seen with my own eyes many celebrities. Matter of fact, your boys, Ralph, Naughty by Nature, I saw them at an award show. They could not get in because they didn't have credentials.
Yep.
They eventually got in, but they were being held not to get
until
they had the credentials. You know what I'm saying? So yes,
you ain't getting any of that without a credential.
You're not getting that stuff without credentials.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you, because I've been to VMA Awards. You got to be somebody a real deep, significant weight where you could walk up in there and they say, "Oh, they're good." Like if that was Beyonce right this minute, she happened to be in the area and she says, "Well, I would want to come in." They let her in. But
they let her in, but they'd get her credentials.
They have to get her credentials, though.
They would run and get her credentials.
They'd run and get her credentials.
Absolutely.
Yep,
but it's no different like going to a premiere. Like, even when I went to the Ant-Man premiere as an example, right? The person that came up with it, they wouldn't let them in. I'm like, listen, they're my +1. It's on my thing. Like, and they're like, we don't have any creds for them. They can't. It was the silliest.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm so sorry.
They treat it the same way as, it's a little easier to get into like concerts. Well, groupies can get into concerts if they do their groupie thing, but they treat it like that too.
Even with that,
they only get so far.
They're only getting so far.
You have to have you have to have your paperwork in order, though, and no kid's got that in order.
Nobody has, no 13-year-old kid has that situated like that.
And not for nothing, I'm gonna bring this part up too. I used to work security. I've never worked security in a club venue, but I don't think there's any security guard that would have saw that girl coming there and not say, "Baby, you ain't supposed to be here. You're not even 18." I don't care how trashy, trampy, slutty, hoish you want to say it. I don't give a damn if her little milk buzz was popping out of her shirt. You know that this person is a little girl. This is not the place for you. So I don't even see how she even got into anywhere where the after party was at.
But that's what they're saying, is that she had to somehow like hang around like LA waiting for this event to end and then wait to be picked up again. Like, we're going to have another chance meeting. Don't worry, driver. We worked this out. But I don't remember what you look like. It doesn't, I don't.
But I don't remember what you look like. And the bottom line is this.
Didn't you spend like 3 hours with them waiting for this thing to be over?
Yeah, you just sitting there with 3 hours. You should know exactly what you should be able to describe him every detail. But here's the deal. I'll even like Ralph kind of leads me into this. Let's go to the club situation now. Once again, Block TV, we've covered many club events. Okay. And I would have +1s, right? Like if me and my brother, shout out to Heaven Hollywood, we would have +1s. Hey, Heaven Hollywood, Wes, Clark, the Clark brothers, Block TV. And a lot of times we get a lot of people in just on our name alone because we'd say that they're working with us. And they really wasn't. They were just with us. But whenever we did a +1 situation, if you are not there by a certain time,
you ain't getting in.
You're not getting in. You're not getting in. You're not getting in. We had 2 rules. If you're going to be my +1,
be early.
Right. You either meet me there or you beat me there. Those were the 2 things was the rule.
Don't be late.
Don't be late. And if you're late, I'm inside the venue like this with a cup in my hand, and I'm like, oh man, oh no, they won't let you.
You're missing a great time.
Oh man, I'd be like Flavor Flav. I can't do nothing for you, man.
Right. And then they outside call, they won't let me in. I'm outside. What? You're late. I don't know what else to tell
late.
you.
Talk to my driver. No, I'm kidding.
I know, right? Go talk to the driver. But I mean, it's just that's funny. But,
that was too early, too soon. I'm sorry.
Yeah, too soon. But the bottom line is this, man. I've seen when I heard and read what this so-called story was, it's got so many holes in it, bro.
We're gonna have to see how it plays out. But I mean,
Yeah.
it does look like somebody's jumping on the bandwagon, though. It really looks like that.
And I don't even think it is that. But no, I do think it's that. But I believe that this guy is behind it. I believe this lawyer guy, this jackleg lawyer, is going.
He's trying to build a class action to get another rich person's pocket. That's what he's trying to do.
Exactly. He's trying to build a class action so he can,
Yeah,
and he
ambulance
knows.
chaser.
Right, ambulance chaser, like what Jay called him in that statement. He knows that some of these celebrities, you'd be surprised how many of them will just go ahead and pay because they don't want the trouble, the drama, or whatever. And he's just figuring, I'll throw a bunch of these things out here.
We don't want to give him too much publicity. We should just refer to him as Saul Goodman.
Yeah. Better call Saul. I know. Yeah. I mean, regardless, and this is my last thought on it, and we'll move on. But I just thought, brought that up because it is breaking news, and
yes,
I hope Jay-Z carries out what he's gonna do. And I'm telling you right now, this is just a prediction of mine. I believe he's not just gonna sue this man. He's gonna try to find a way to go after his license. I'm telling you. He's gonna try to find a way. I don't know. You're gonna have to, the lawyer's gonna have to really work and see, because if you're doing anything unethical in your
practice, misconduct, unethical misconduct. You can get disbarred for that. Sure.
You can be disbarred. Yeah. So there you go.
That's not a pretty thing for anybody who doesn't understand that, though. That's like severe. That's severe.
And if he got this kind of reputation around Houston, Jay-Z can pull a whole lot of people and say, "Hey, this guy been doing this for years." So it's not just a me. It's not just a me thing. Although I'm the biggest target that he's ever had. But if a whole bunch of little people say, "Well, he done the same thing to us," guess what?
I mean, Jay-Z has proven time and time again he's not the one to play false crap with like that. He just even his music contracts, he made it quite clear from a young age that he wasn't going to be trifled with. So I think right now she and this lawyer picked a really rough target to go after.
Yeah, this is not the and shout out to
Heaven
Hollywood.
Period.
Heaven Hollywood predicts, and I agree with him. They also have an unnamed female star. It's either gonna be Beyonce that they name or Jennifer Lopez. That's just a prediction. Because
they're opening up a whole new can of worms. They try to bring J-Lo back up again after the gun incidents, after all the crap with all this previous. You definitely don't want to open that can again. If you are on J-Lo's team, you definitely don't want that can open because she's going to go down for a whole bunch of other stuff that she don't want to go down for.
I'm going to tell you like this. Let either one of them women get brought up, bodies are going to start disappearing. People are going to start disappearing. It's been known in Hollywood that if you mess with the wrong people, if you even talk sideways out the side of your mouth, okay. And 6 months later, so-and-so committed
look
suicide.
Who had a drug overdose and floated up in the river.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sitting there saying I'm sitting there thinking it's not gonna be either of them. You know who they're gonna be looking for? One, Jaguar Wright. Jaguar Wright is number one. And the second one,
because they said the person is a high profile. Jaguar Wright is nothing near high profile. They said this unnamed female and Jaguar Wright wouldn't, if this scenario was true, this alleged scenario was true, she wouldn't be the one that would be there with it. It would have to be someone that's close to one of the two men that would be there just watching it happen and not saying nothing.
I'm going but when they say high profile, like what they consider, who he considers high profile, it wouldn't surprise me if they try to bring up Blue Cantrell that used to date Jay-Z. That would not surprise me. If you want to bring up someone that would have been around both of them, oh
A little bit of
damn,
hit 'em up style.
maybe Little Kim, someone that would have been around the
Or
both
Mary
of
J.
I
them.
mean, Blue
Blige.
Cantrell would make
Maybe
sense
Mary
with all
J.
that mess,
Blige.
but
Maybe
Yeah.
Mary J.
Mary
Blige.
J.
It
Blige.
depends on who they feel they could target that might fold and might say, you know what, here, take the money, leave me out of it, because that's what he's doing. He before they name them, they're reaching out to them. That's what Jay said. You know, they're reaching out to them saying, hey, your name is going to come up. If you don't want it to come up, pay my client. So
extortion.
they're going to go after who they think will fold and say, okay, I'm just going to pay. Please don't bring my name up. That's the only reason why I don't think it's Beyonce is because they're already attacking Jay. He kind of compensates for both of them. I think they're going to try to attack a person that they feel they could get money from, that they know got the money, and who they think might fold. Just like 42 just said, you know, J-Lo has other stuff that she don't want brought back up. She's you know, her past with Puff and all this other stuff. So she might fold. They might look at her as an easy target. She might fold and say, here's the money, leave me out of it. And, you know, this is how this guy operates. I mean, it's scum of the earth. I mean, it angers, that part doesn't anger me. What angers me is this new come up that they call, you know, the R word. Rhymes with grape. So I mean, that's like the new hustle. So it's just like crazy.
I
But
hate to
anyway,
say
it's
that. I hate
interesting
this.
movie,
I
so.
hate that is even on someone's idea. Well, we'll do this, and that's how we're gonna make our. It's the same thing with like the reality shows. We're gonna do a reality show. We're gonna do a reality show where we fighting and stuff, and that's gonna get me my name. And like, stop it.
Well, America, especially America, because they're the ones that's obsessed with reality TV. America loves to see misery. Misery loves company. And they love to see other people. They love that, you know, we're a country of masochists, basically. When we get off, we meaning just the country. I don't, and I'm sure any of us do, but the country is a country of masochists that get off on watching other people's pain. Period. So, So,
with that being said, if they think, let's just say hypothetically, Jay-Z was there, Diddy was there, and this allegedly third person was there. Do you think, look at Jay-Z's past on everything that he's done, from Emery to whoever, people get taken care of. If Jay tells you, look, don't worry about it. All you got to do is just keep your mouth shut, and I got you.
Jay-Z
you
is just not, he doesn't come this far in life to be that stupid.
Nope.
Just nobody is ready. It's the same thing as I'll never, and I don't care how much people say it and try to make me believe it. I will never believe that Prince was stupid enough to not have a will.
Have a will.
I'll never believe that. After what he went through to get his music back, you're gonna tell me that this man dies and he doesn't have a will.
He explicitly made it clear he had a will too.
Yeah, so I mean, are you serious?
Because he said in his own words, he was talking about like for the previous 4 or 5 years how he was funding all his own stuff and the label didn't do anything for him. And in fact, the label was trying to leverage him at that point to try to take money out of his pocket again for albums that he was self-producing. So it would be impossible for that man not to have a will of any sort.
Just like Morris Day said, that will burnt up in the fireplace. That's where that will is. But he definitely had a will. So you don't certain things you just don't
You just like, come on. This man does not come from where he comes from. Did everything he did to be stupid enough to do something like this, especially with people on the tapes and to let himself be taped and everything else that they always say. And I'll end it on this. First of all, these guys are all like comrades in the business. Jay-Z and Puffy are not best friends by any stretch of the imagination. They've never been best friends. They are they have a camaraderie
Business
from
partners.
the business, right? They've done business together. They've worked in the same, but they came up in a bit. It's just like a fraternity. It's like people who are in this, and unfortunately, fans or people who are outside of this industry don't understand it. They think that everybody is just running around having freaky parties and this and maybe in some cases some people are, but the bottom line is if you think, and I've covered several Diddy parties for Block TV, and I have the video footage to prove it. But I can tell you what ain't on that video footage. Ain't no freak offs or anything else on no video footage. I've been to several Diddy parties. And I'll quote Heaven Hollywood, he has no chill. He's like, of course we ain't see no freak offs because we're the Clark brothers. We show up and all the freak offs is over.
They shut it down.
We're not
Now
that
y'all
lucky.
might have got there before, but when it was just too damn early. Then as the night go on, once the common folks start weeding themselves out, and who's left, that's the party.
Well, if they I covered a Diddy party, a Super Bowl party at Club Chakra in Miami Beach, Miami. It was a Diddy party. He bought the whole club out, and it was a 10 to 10 party. It was from 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. We left that club. It was daytime. The sun was up. We left that club. It was about 8 in the morning. So maybe the last 2 hours of the party they had the freak off, because they sure didn't have it from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. That's for sure, because I was there. So, my whole point is it's ridiculous, people, to think that these people, that it was already. I don't know where people ran with this whole freak off thing. It was explained in Cassie's deposition where this all got started. It was explained. She explicitly explained that the freak offs, quote unquote, is a private, intimate thing. It's something that's between two, like maybe 3 people or 4, and
Right.
she was involved with them. This was not no super orgy that all the celebrities just have a secret.
This wasn't Eyes Wide Shut.
Right. It wasn't Eyes Wide Shut. Right, exactly. We were what's the password?
That's Nicole Kidman's thing, not Diddy's.
But here's the main thing about that. Even if it was Eyes Wide Shut, so what? It's consenting adults.
Right.
That's true. This is true.
I mean, what I mean, I don't understand. Like, even with you got guys nowadays, you got regular Joe Schmoes that are meeting chicks online, and the chicks are like, fly me out, and the dude is like, nah, pay your own way, because I'm not getting back for sexual harassment or for prostitution across state lines.
Right.
That's the man act. That's the man act.
Oh yeah, exactly.
That's the man act.
What about Greyhound? Can you take a Greyhound?
Nope.
Yeah.
Or Amtrak or Megabus. Nope.
No Megabus either. Damn.
No Megabus.
Which I really think is stupid. If you have a consenting adult that most times, listen, most chicks or dudes that jump on a flight to go see somebody They go on for one reason and one reason only. It's very rare that you're going down just to go chill and hang out. Cause hell, I did it.
I do it at my house.
Wes, you know who I did it with. Only thing I'm gonna say is whatchamacallit, not us thing, whatchamacallit, down in West Virginia. What's her name? Nell. That I met, that everybody was mad that I scooped up. You know what I'm saying? I went down there to go chill and hang out with her and take some pictures of her, and I took pictures of your brother's girl while I was down there. But you know what I'm saying? But you can't. I don't understand how these prosecutors are so desperate that like you're going to bag somebody for sex trafficking when it's a consenting adult that decided to get on a flight and go.
Exactly.
And now it's sex trafficking.
Well, I mean, they yeah, exactly. And then I see someone had said, well, they're claiming they were underage, so it's not consenting adults. But that's the thing; they're claiming they were underage, and that's what I'm talking about. These situations aren't very favorable for women or anybody underage. I'm not saying that it's not possible. I'm not saying that it's never happened before. But all I'm saying is in this situation that's being explained or allegedly being explained, it don't seem that there's too many holes in the story. It don't seem it doesn't seem liable at all. It just doesn't. Sorry. It doesn't. So I mean, I've seen people and I'm telling you, there's stories that I know, that I've been told, and things of that nature, where people that I know that do security for a lot of these celebrities, they do turn away young women and young girls.
Yep.
All the time. All the time. You gotta go. Nope. They're sitting there. Oh, these girls offer to do sexual favors for them just to let them in the doors, and they still turn them away.
Hell, they turn away older women too. So I mean, frankly,
older
if you're not in that sweet, I'm going to be honest. If you're not in that sweet 18 to 24 category, and unless your little milk duds are not popping out, or your ass cheeks are not showing, or you got something that's super skanky, like if you come in there dressed in the lawyer business suit, nah, this isn't for you, boo. This ain't for you. This ain't for you. No, that's just how it is, because they know that the young girls are going to attract the people in the club to buy liquor. They know this. That's why it's a whole setup for it. So
because one thing leads to another. When it's a club, especially in a club, the club is liable. The club.
Shout out to K-Dub, by the way.
K-Dub, shout out.
Let me tell you, he would know. That man understands the security aspect of things on this.
Right, of course, exactly. So, a lot of people could be held liable just for you making a bad decision like that and letting that go down. So,
and if homegirl is sitting there saying that she got raped at the MTV after party, guess who gonna be real liable for that? Viacom. That's who really. MTV and
new media is gonna have to take a hit on that.
They got
a lot of people would
that the club. All the people are going to start saying, "Oh, wait a minute," and then it brings up the old adage: Why did you wait 20, almost 30 years? All right. There's no police report. There's no medical report. There's nothing. You're just saying, well, this happened to me. I swear to God, I need to go back and say, when I was 15 years old, Millie Jackson. I was at a Millie Jackson show when she jerked me off in the front row. That's what I should do. And go sue Millie Jackson.
I mean, anybody? No, I have so much stuff that I could just if this is the new come up, man, I got plenty of pictures with people. I can just say, oh my God.
Yeah.
Shout out to the
was
pallets that
great.
are showing up, by the way. Shout out to you beautiful angels out there. Thank you for showing up, guys.
Shout out to everybody that's showing up. We appreciate y'all. I'm sure y'all showing love to your mans here. And that's what's up. We love it. So with that being said, we'll move on to the next topic. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm anxious to see how Jay handles that. I think he will handle it like the bull he is.
This is gonna be an interesting unfold, though. It really is.
It is gonna be an interesting unfold. So okay, so officially the other week, and it's been kind of the talk of the town, the Superman and Lois finale had came, and it's like the show is over now, and that kind of like officially ends the Arrowverse. And that show was like Arrowverse adjacent. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't directly one of the Arrowverse shows, but it has crossed over the episode. They kind of consider it part of the Arrowverse.
To me it seems strange that it's even in that Arrowverse right now. You know, it's kind of I know they crossed over a little bit and that's what sucked it into it, but it's such a separate entity. It's so weird.
It is. It's that's why I call it Arrowverse adjacent.
Adjacent. It's the neighbor of the Arrowverse.
Exactly. So
connecting gate between the backyards, you know.
Exactly. Now, but the Arrowverse is officially over, and I had, you know, it went on for like 10, 12 years. The Arrowverse. They went on like 10 to 12 years, and the real question is, how good was the Arrowverse? And the second part of that question is, how important was it?
Not important at all.
Well, I
didn't watch it. Not important at all.
I mean, I have a huge opinion for the beginning of it, though. Like, they brought Flash into a better light, to be fair for me, because Flash was like such a lacking character in the universe to begin with, and they didn't work on him hard enough. And then the fact is also, like, to be fair, Flash gave the opportunity for Nick Cage to be Superman for a change. It like unlocked certain things. It was a universe, like the Arrowverse, like seeing Nick Cage in that costume and that stuff put it in this whole different perspective of a whole different universe. And
I agree.
Arrow was awesome.
I believe the Arrowverse was it definitely was important to a lot of it really kind of kept things it kept things going. I mean, and Smallville started, but it wasn't Smallville's not the Arrowverse. But this
Legends of Tomorrow,
right? This whole television, it kind of brought real drama to the television superhero thing.
Yes.
Right?
Supergirl was like old school TV again. It was
right. More seriousness, more gritty. It really kind of started a whole new type of appearance for these characters. Arrow, first of all, was a very, very, very well done show.
It was impressive.
It was impressive for it to be a CW show.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah, I saw some people on there, good performances, a lot of good performances, good storylines, great action. And it was
before Arrow came out. Did you think Arrow that good? I mean, that character before it was portrayed in this new Arrowverse didn't have that vibe at all. Nobody would have paid him a second look.
No one looked at Green Arrow like that.
No.
Green Arrow, I mean, and I'm gonna go as far as to say this. If we didn't have the Arrowverse, it's very possible that we wouldn't have got shows like the gritty shows, like the Marvel shows like Daredevil on Netflix and stuff like that.
We wouldn't have got Krypton.
We wouldn't have got a lot of those shows.
No, you wouldn't
that had that gritty ground level feel. You see what I'm saying? The reason why a lot of people took to the Defenders shows, Daredevil, Iron Fist and Power Man, and Jessica Jones, because even though they do have somewhat like superpowers, but it's more ground level. It's not overpowered. You know what I mean? It's not, they're not flying around and taking out, aliens and some of them are. But
It's mild.
It was very ground level. It almost felt like Arrow felt like a Batman show. Like Arrow was that gritty. It
reminded me of the Robin spinoff kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was really, really good. Well done.
Awesome character building.
Acted. Oh, the world building on top of that.
You're true.
Yeah.
I'll take that from it.
Building. No, both character and world building, and that's how we have the Arrowverse, right? And every other new show spent off of different new shows, we have arguably, not even really arguably, there is no argument in my mind that Stephen Amell is the Green Arrow. I'm sorry. I mean,
absolutely.
Period.
I can't see anybody else play that. That's like going to be the Christopher Reeve thing. It's going to be a comparison.
It's going to be hard to see because he made such a big impression, and he was really like the first. He wasn't the first to appear on television as the Green Arrow, but to have its own show,
it was gritty though. It was so more realistic. It showed where his angst came from. All of it, it was just
all of it. It was really well done.
Yeah, I agree. It was great.
Then you have the Flash. They bring in the Flash series, which got started from the Arrowverse. Flash crossed over to Arrow. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't know where they were going to go with this Flash show. And I didn't think Grant Gustin, who I was a fan of, but I wasn't a fan of him for anything that had to do with the Flash. I used to watch Glee. I liked him in Glee. I was like, yes, I'm a Gleek. Yes,
it was going to be hard to picture him as Flash after that, huh?
It was very hard. I was like, this dude's going to play the Flash, Barry Allen? And then even the way he played,
it's the Nick Cage Superman all over again. I'm just saying.
and the way he played Barry Allen, actually, at first I didn't take to it because if you know Barry Allen from the comics, even from the cartoons, he's a little more playful and jokes and a little silly sometimes. And Grant Gustin did not play him like that at all. But I like the way he played him, though. It was a nice. All of his comic relief came from awkwardness because he kind of played him as a nerd, as a geek, not a nerd. But
Flash is pretty awkward, though.
Yeah, he is awkward in a way, but that's where the comedy came from with him. But I love the way they played it, man. And they
I liked it too.
These worlds, they build these worlds.
I like how they even played his suit out. Like all of it was good. I thought it was really good.
I thought it was very, very good. I mean, for it to be a television CW show.
Again, CW television, you don't expect this kind of epic stuff to happen, but it does.
Yeah.
CW has really been like, let's be fair, like House of Cards, Flash stuff. CW's like put this stuff up now. Like they like movie quality. Like this isn't television anymore. CW's got some real backing.
And the thing is, these people, the acting stepped up the game. Like this wasn't the Flash show that we saw, back in the day on CBS. You know what I'm saying? Like this was a series, like this show, you were invested in these characters. Like you said, 42 character building in these shows. Every show had the character building, but they kept doing different shows, which now built the world. They built the whole world of the universe of the Arrowverse. Black Lightning, another very underrated, well-written.
Way underrated. Way underrated.
Underrated, well-written show and well-acted. So they had a lot. And like you said, Supergirl Supergirl kind of lightened it up a little bit. Like it felt like classic television.
It was back to the Jimmy Olsen stuff, you know, like
Right.
it was
Yeah.
very
It definitely
wholesome-y,
gave
very
you.
kind of. It
Yeah.
was old
It
school.
did give you
It
that.
was old school.
It was old school. Brought that element to it, but still good. But then you got other stuff. You know, they kind of roped it. You know, the Legends of Tomorrow, which was just a lot of, you know, time travel stuff. And
I
things
loved
like
that though. I thought that was pretty wild,
Yeah.
you know, like it was out of the universe spectrum a little bit. It was wild. It was.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. There's a lot of stuff, man, and just the grittiness of it. And they kind of roped in Constantine, even though Constantine played off on another network at one time, started off
Yes.
on another network, then got bought into that world.
It finished on the right network though.
Yeah, it did. And Constantine, I mean, it was some good stuff.
You can
man.
see a difference in the production staff they used between the networks, so you can.
Yeah. I mean, I feel that it was very important. I feel it was important because it gave a blueprint on it. It was important because it showed future show creators that you can be gritty with these characters and more realistic with them. But as long as you have good writing, good story, and a good amount of action, realistic action, even the stunts in Arrow was crazy. The fight coordination, the fight scenes in Arrow was off the chain.
Did you check out the web series stuff too during the ArrowVerse? Like, did you follow that? Like,
Vixen stuff, they had
Freedom Fighters, the Ray with the whole light show stuff.
Yeah, and they had the
I
Vixen
think that was powerful too, and it was web series based, but that was really powerful. If it had the same kind of production money, that could have done just as well.
Exactly. So my whole point is it made future television writers, executives, whatever, say, yeah, we can make money doing this type of stuff. So lo and behold, you know, you got Marvel, you know, let's do Daredevil on the level that he really needs to be done. Gritty, dark, you know.
The whole moment at the very beginning of everything, when people who don't know the universe already, somebody who's coming in fresh to this and comes into Daredevil and realizes how he's blind and how he's so disconnected from everything but so connected at the same time, that everything's just coursing through him at a different level, right? And he was comparable to like how the Flash kind of came in touch with his suit at the same kind of thing at the beginning. They had to get used to this kind of thing flowing through them. And it built it very well. It still gives you chills to think about how they built up Daredevil. Like they built it up so well.
They built it up beautifully. But Arrow was kind of done like that. The first season, remember the first season of Arrow? I mean, it took a couple seasons before he even actually started wearing the mask and grew the beard, like how we.
It was such a build, though. It was so good.
So good. It was such a build up on how it went.
I felt like I knew him, like we were hanging out.
Yeah.
That's how it kind of felt.
Yep. You got to know Oliver Queen, the character and the person, and you're like, yo, this dude, and they portrayed him. They portrayed him as if most of the comic writers that I've met at Comic Cons and stuff like that, they love that show because they're like, yo, this is exactly what we've been trying to tell people, that Green Arrow ain't nothing to F with. They was like, yo, Green Arrow is a beast. We've been telling people this for decades. But this show finally showed people.
Well, they were looking at him like the Green Lantern, you know, instead of the Green.
Yeah, it's just like, you just.
That's what I'm feeling. Like they thought it was going to be weak, like that kind of presentation that happened.
Yeah.
It wasn't like.
Yeah, I know. And that's what they thought, and they were wrong.
That presentation was bad. I'm just saying.
It was bad. And then, of course, you had another guy who appeared as the Green Arrow in Smallville, and it wasn't campy, but it was a little hokey. You know, the Green Arrow character in Smallville. You know, Smallville. I loved Smallville too, the show. But when they had the characters that showed up from the Justice League, you know, you had Green Arrow, you had a Flash, it was a little hokey, but it was good to see those characters And the guy who played Green Arrow, he wasn't bad. He went on to play.
But they weren't developed characters at all. They were just
weren't
kind of
developed
passing
characters.
through. They were
just
just like,
passing through.
it was clear that
Aquaman
the
as well.
actors weren't invested in those characters. It was very clear.
Nah, it wasn't. They were kind of, my man who played Aquaman. That's my dude who plays Reacher right now. He also played in the DC the Titans show. That dude is Richter or something like that. He played first time I ever saw him, he played Aquaman in an episode of Smallville. He was Aquaman. So but anyway, I want to get, I think the ArrowVerse should get its flowers. It served its purpose. It's gone on. It was a good ride. A good run.
12 years.
12-year run with all of those shows. I think Arrow itself had 8 seasons, something like that.
Something like that. It ran 11 years. So
wow,
because that didn't stop till last year. Arrow didn't stop till 2023.
I mean, it's
I mean, to think about a side character, a side superhero like the Green Arrow, getting an 11 seasons show is 11 years is ridiculous to get out of a character that was so side. And now he's not a side character. Now he's got a whole universe. He's got a whole story. He's got a whole following. He's got a whole nemesis. Everything has come into light.
That's so cool too. And I'll tell you one thing. I'll say another thing before I move on is the actor, I don't know his name, but the gentleman who played Deathstroke.
Oh yeah.
Played Deathstroke, aka Slade Wilson. Lord have mercy, that man was ruthless. He was perfect for Slade. Perfect. I mean, he killed it. And I would have loved to see him. I mean, there's been other people that's played Slade in other shows, and usually the guys that they cast to play him, they kind of fit the role pretty good. But this guy here, you got to know him.
It's all about your attitude for that role.
Yeah. This guy tortured Oliver Queen for 2 seasons, man. This guy was just, he was.
I mean, I'm a fan of Deathstroke. I'm a fan of all that stuff. So I mean, it's
yeah, Deathstroke. So so that's cool. But the Superman,
I'm nerdy, I can handle
it. Everybody,
we're getting into the deep nerdy here, guys. We're getting deep.
No,
nerdy.
It's all good. Everybody's been talking about the Superman and Lois finale, which I didn't see. I didn't follow the show, so. I got to go back, and now it's over. I'm going to go back and binge it and watch it. But, I believe, a lot of people are putting the gentleman who plays Superman / Clark. They're like, yo, this dude is up there. He's right there under Henry Cavill. And they're loving this guy, And I thought he was cool. I saw him in a couple of the crossover episodes. I never watched the show. I saw him in a crossover episode of Arrow and all of that. I saw him in a crossover episode of Supergirl. So he seemed cool to me. But they're saying this dude here, they really went in with this. So I'm like, it's interesting. It kind of leads me to want to talk about the different Superman actors over the years. The character's been portrayed quite a few times, and on screen and on television as well. Because when you ranking them or when you just listing them, Superman's only been portrayed on the movie screen 3 times? Well, now 4. As far as the movies go,
Oh, you mean different actors portraying him on a big screen?
Yeah, on a movie screen, it's only been
TV screen is different. Yeah.
TV is different, but it's still who plays the character.
But this is what set Christopher Reeves in that position, is because he did a lot of big screen stuff.
He did the screen stuff, yeah. And let's be honest, he set the bar because just like I said at the top of the show, and it's reiterated in the Christopher Reeve story, the documentary. If whoever hasn't seen it, I recommend you go out and check it out. It's on HBO Max. It's very sad, but at the same time, it's a very well done documentary, and it's very you also learn things. It's encouraging. But he set the bar when it came to playing that character, because up until that point, if you played a superhero, it was considered like campy. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
look at
because
look at Adam West with Batman, and even the Supermen that played
George
before
Reeves.
Christopher Reeve did more. Yeah, George Reeves, and the ones that was on television.
Yeah, those were considered like, but that's part of our Americana feel of that TV vibe. You know, it was very hokey anyway, all of it.
Yeah, it was. Right, exactly.
Kirk Allen was like, I mean, personally, of course I'm going to love Kirk Allen, right? But again, it was hokey Superman. It was as hokey as it could get.
Yeah, exactly. It was as hokey as it get. You know, you had George Reeves, of course. That he was probably one of the most popular until Christopher Reeve came in.
Right, of course.
George Reeves appeared on television.
Because
I remember
anybody, if he was on a big screen, he would still been perfect. He was built like a human being, looked like a human being, and was just like, his demeanor was perfect.
Yeah, even George Reeves' Superman on TV was serious. It wasn't campy. There was no.
His demeanor was good.
His
the
demeanor
show
was
general
good.
was campy, but the character wasn't.
It was him. The way he didn't try to play it too campy, but then you would find him on certain. Because I remember him. I distinctly remember him watching an episode of I Love Lucy, where he made a cameo in on I Love Lucy as playing Superman, right? Or George Reeves playing Superman. And I think Ricky Ricardo knew George Reeves. Ricky was into Hollywood, right? So he ran into George Reeves and knew him, and then he got him to come into the Superman suit for Little Ricky to see him and stuff like that. So I remember that episode, and there's other things. But like I said, but generally it was kind of, it was wholesome. It was great. But generally it was kind of, hokey. They unload the clip on him. He stand there like this with his hands on his hips,
laughing,
take the bullets, laughing, and then he walked towards him. The guy throws the gun and he ducks. And I'm like, wait, he just emptied all the clip on you, and now he throws the gun, and that's gonna hurt you. You duck.
You're stopping a train and everything, but somebody else hits you and knocking it over.
right. So he throws the gun, he ducks. So dodges.
You were talking earlier about the Adam West, like the lack of respect for the poor man. Like, I'm thinking, how could you help it? Like, seriously, he swung on people and it wrote "pow" on the screen. It was the original. I gotta monetize this. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And for its time, people liked it and loved it. What have you? It got really crazy. They jumped the shark a couple of times, more than once. And the Batusi. I mean, that's what I was done.
Fighting sharks and stuff. Come on, man. That
was hilarious. The Batusi
that was
hilarious.
I was done with the Batusi, man. I said, okay, I can't. But
the Batusi, I'm done right now.
But I watched it just like every other kid at that time, because one thing we always say, and Kev says this a lot too, as a fan, as a comic book collector, or I'll say a former comic book collector. I don't really have any comics anymore, but growing up, reading, loving these characters, thank God I'm alive. It's great to be alive, to see these characters come
to life,
television, come to life.
Yes.
This is my childhood coming to life. And I did see stuff. Like I said, I'm old enough to know, Adam West was Batman, and I did watch that show. But then you got a whole nother feeling when Michael Keaton came on the screen as Batman,
Michael Keaton wasn't Mr. Mom anymore. He
wasn't Mr. Mom.
He was Batman. He was
Batman. It was like, whoa. But that's the feeling that people
got. But he crossed over from this kind of goofy actor to like a really serious Batman.
Yeah. And then that's the feeling when Christopher Reeve came out as Superman, the Superman filmmakers really did not want this film to be taken as campy or hokey or whatever. They really wanted to, they worked their main concern, Richard Donner's main concern was making the special effects look as real as possible for its time.
Who's your least favorite one to put on the super suit? Let's hear it.
But you know what? But even with Michael Keaton, I'm going to give a little bit of pushback because Michael Keaton, even before Batman, was a little bit more of a serious actor, especially with stuff like Pacific Heights. Was like,
but that came after Batman, I believe.
Yeah, you gotta go with Clean and Sober. If you saw Clean and Sober,
Yeah. I mean, he was definitely he was overall,
he's a good actor. He was always a good actor.
But he was really known for a lot of his comedic performances
and his sarcasm.
His sarcasm.
Right. So when he played the way he played Batman, so I'll get back to him, but back to Christopher Reeve, he was very determined because that's what they said. The studio decided we're going to get an unknown actor and surround him with known actors, or whatever. So Christopher Reeve was determined to play this role as serious as possible. He really, really took pride in playing the role, and he wanted to come across a certain way and have a certain thing. It's funny. One of his sons spoke in the documentary, and it's so weird because the one of the scenes that I always gave him credit for on an active standpoint, if you really, anyone could go back and watch the original Superman, you know what I'm talking about. And it's so ironic, the son mentioned the same scene that I always talked about with people about Superman. One scene where he was about to reveal himself to Lois, and he was still in Clark Kent mode, but he took the glasses off, and his whole demeanor, his posture, everything changed. The moment he took the glasses off, he just went into this, stood up tall and straight, and his posture changed, his voice changed, and he was like, "Lois, I have something to tell you," or whatever he says to her. And she's like in the other room getting dressed or whatever. And then he decides at the last minute to, throw the glasses back on and go back into Clark Kent mode. I said that switch at that very moment showed you, if nothing else, and a lot of people missed it and didn't pay attention to it. It really showed you that Christopher Reeve cared about that character. Because he to switch like he did on the dime. And make no mistake, Clark Kent and Superman are two different characters. Clark Kent is Superman's disguise, right? And but it was funny because it was like, I think the son called it, he was, what was he say? He was Superman playing Clark Kent in that particular scene.
Which is how it should always be.
Which is how it should always be. He was Superman playing Clark Kent.
People forget it's not Clark Kent turning into Superman; it's the other way around.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And throughout even in his teenage years, in every movie, even with Henry Cavill, that's what made Henry Cavill so dope. He was a dope Clark Kent. Like he wasn't Superman; he was Clark Kent, using his abilities to help people.
Yeah, but once he became who he, Superman, whatever the case may be, once he knew about his powers, he knew about himself. Now he's in the, he needed that disguise, right? So, which is why in Man of Steel, Zack Snyder kept that element where he said, well, I got to get a job. He's telling his mother, I got to get a job. And, I gotta kind of disguise myself. And, it's got to be a job that I can have, free to roam around. And, it's that type of thing. So obviously he became a reporter. And, but like I said, Christopher Reeve kind of really set the standard on playing the role. It was just the fact that he hated almost every sequel except Part 2. Obviously, he hated the other ones, which Part 2 was awesome, arguably better than Part 1. People will argue that.
Wait a minute.
I personally love Part 2.
Wait a minute. Now, this is the question I would ask Chris Reeve, with knowing that. Which version did you like? Were you really rolling with the Donner version until all that stuff came up with Warner Brothers, or the other one that was the one that was actually released? Now, I think that's a different question. Which one did you actually roll with? It might have been all that reshooting when at the Donner left, or he was forced out, that started souring him on the way that the sequels were starting to go down the line.
Yeah, yeah, probably so. I would, I don't know. Obviously, we can't answer that question, but I mean, he loved Donner. I mean, Richard Donner gave him his break, his big break into film. And he, I'm sure he loved Donner. And Donner loved him. He thought, hey man, this is Superman, from day one. But yeah, the Donner cut and all that stuff they talk about. After that, he was like, yeah, he said it all the time. Now, what he didn't like about the one thing his bad experience during Superman was actually, he didn't like Marlon Brando. He thought he was so excited to play in a movie with Marlon Brando, because Marlon Brando was like every actor's favorite actor back then. But until they worked with him. And then they're like, oh,
found out what it was like to work with the man.
And they found out what it was like to work with him.
He's an ass.
And that also showed you, he was in an interview, it might have been like David Letterman or one of those talk shows. And he said, Marlon Brando, it was very, the guy just basically phoned it in, like he's like, I don't like that. Like, he was upset that Marlon Brando almost felt like it didn't take it serious. He was just there for a paycheck. And he's like, yo, this is my life here. Like, it's my big break. Like, I'm taking this serious. I don't know if anybody else. He said, I went into Gene Hackman's dressing room and I asked him if he'd like to rehearse. He said, he looked at me like I was crazy. He was like, what? He was surprised. He was shocked that Christopher Reeve
wanted to rehearse, right?
Yeah, and he wanted to rehearse. Remember, he's a theater. He's from theater background.
I just have a lot of. I don't know what your vibe on like Superman 4, but that movie just hurt me a lot because
it was awful.
Awful. You got to think that was Christopher Reeve's writing. That was his story. He wrote that. He was trying to mold Superman, and it went so like out there.
It's so crazy, and ultimately, I believe he wanted to just his main point was to try to make Superman be the guy who helps the world find peace.
It was terrible.
So left. It was so bad. It was
so bad.
Yeah.
It was so bad. I mean, in Superman 3, I mean, hell, he was barely in the movie. It felt like, like they would Richard Pryor was the star of that movie.
Richard Pryor was awesome.
I love Richard Pryor and everything he does.
I mean, even Superman 3, there are parts of Superman 3 that were good that I liked.
Yeah,
but
there was some parts.
It's still like it's like a big downgrade in. God.
It was real. It's like
Superman 4 is a whole new level of bad. Superman 4 is a whole new level of bad.
Yeah, they couldn't get Gene Hackman back for Part 3, so then they just create this other villain person. It was just that was bad too. That was a bad one too. The best part for me about part 3 is when he got infected and became like the bad Superman for a while. Even though that was still
That was exciting
too, but it was funny. It was excited to see him because you want to see you never seen him like that. So you see when the girl he goes to rescue the girl's was she on the Statue of Liberty? He's like, I don't know.
Yes.
He's out. I don't know if you wait for me to save you because I don't do that. I don't do that anymore.
Cold.
And the flickering the peanuts, breaking the glasses at the bar. I mean, it was just kind of funny, but
I mean, you got to remember the whole cover for that movie was a cartoon version of him flying Richard Pryor through the city. So it's just like,
oh my god, yeah, that's true. That is true. And
you can't expect a whole lot out of that. You just can't.
You just can't. You just can't. So,
if you don't remember, you got to look the cover up again because it will haunt you. It will haunt you.
So I'm just gonna share the screen on this so the people can see what I'm talking about. Here is a list of the different actors that played Superman throughout the years. And I don't think the new he is on this, David Corenswet or whatever his name is, Corenswet. He's on the list as well. He's the current Superman. We haven't seen him in action yet, but he is on the list. It's a list of people. Right. Okay, so we mentioned Kirk Allen, who played Superman.
What about Dean Cain? Wasn't that
oh Jesus, he was terrible. God,
exactly. He again made me feel like I was watching Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, I mean, come on. There's George Reeves. Yeah, man. There's Christopher Reeve. There's the Dean Cain. This guy looks nothing like he should be Superman. I'm sorry. Like,
well, that's a joke. That's a joke.
Yeah, he was a joke, man.
Look at all that CGI.
I know, he was terrible. Tom Welling, who never actually played Superman except for I think he did it in like a special end credit thing when Smallville was about to go off. But he did play Clark Kent in Smallville, and I thought he was
a good Clark Kent.
Yeah.
For TV.
Now, there is I wasn't able to find this thing. I don't know if they scrubbed it from the internet, but there was a drawing that the great Alex Ross, artist, comic artist Alex Ross drew of Tom Welling as Superman. And I think he ended up making that into a painting as well, because Alex Ross was famous for doing his lifelike paintings of superheroes. It's just like somebody that he pictured as that superhero, and he draw them and paint them. But man, what could have been if this kid would have played Superman? Because the way Alex Ross drew him as Superman, I was like, Lord have mercy, what happened?
What happened?
Okay,
look at that right there. That's more realistic right there.
Yeah, I know. So a lot of people didn't talk. They kind of don't talk about Brandon Routh, and the funny thing is, he looks a lot like Christopher Reeve, which is hilarious.
It's his Halloween costume. That's all.
Yeah, I know.
Is that spandex?
Is that spandex? Exactly. I tell you, this is what it is. Brandon Routh was not a bad Superman. It was just a bad story. That Superman Returns was a bad story.
Yeah.
It was stupid.
You couldn't expect much out of it. It wasn't good.
You couldn't expect. I mean, it's like Superman, baby daddy Superman. It's just like, really? It was bad. Story had no, that was a Bryan Singer money grab, and I expected better from Bryan Singer because he is a really good filmmaker.
It was too much of a homage. It was too much of a homage to Donner, and instead of advancing the story around, you want to bring back Donner's from 82. Because the thing with Superman having a baby, okay, I could go with that because for a minute his powers were gone. He spent one night with
Yeah.
Lois. All right, okay.
Yeah.
And there were other elements that I liked. Superman Returns. I thought particularly like the playing sequence. I thought that was amazing.
I
And
thought that was
certainly
and the shooting when they
the
shot him in the
shootout in
eyeball.
the eyeball when you actually saw
They
how strong
shot
he
him in
was,
the
and he just looked at
Yo,
him like really.
those
That was
I was so happy when they showed him getting shot in the eye in the commercial, and then they still kept
yeah.
it in the movie. I was like,
Yeah,
The
Yeah.
fact that brings you joy gets me right now, though.
yeah, and he just looked at him like
Shot him in the
really.
eye. He looked
And I
like
Just shoot
even
your
like I
eye out,
even like
kid.
to see. I even like the sequence when he picked the boat up out of the to save him when he picked the boat up out the water. I like that sequence too. But it
yeah.
was just
No,
too
it
much
was
of a
cool.
homage to
It was too
Donner,
much,
and you should have.
and I just yeah.
and
They didn't do it.
and the fact that
They didn't do
and the worst part about the whole movie of Superman Returns is the fact that Cyclops decided not to do X-Men and decided to take his butt over there to go do Superman Returns. It's like, what are you doing? To be Jimmy
to be a
Olsen
sidekick.
for what, 3 minutes? 3 minutes?
Yeah, it was that was bad. Of course, Henry Cavill, who was perfect as Superman, in my opinion. He fit the bill, he fit the suit, he fit everything. So, he was really, he kind of ushered in a different type of stuff. Even although Christopher Reeve was in good shape now, but he was
He wasn't like
really
that.
the one.
He
No,
wasn't like
he's the
that.
one who he's built like they draw Superman. He's built like how they draw him. You know what I'm saying? So
Christopher Reeve,
he
but
has the
Christopher Reeves was kind of sort of still paying homage to, and I can never remember the actor's name, but I love the black and white Superman. He was kind of still playing homage to that with
George Reeve.
a strong physique, a strong looking physique because he had the wedge
yeah,
look, because that was the
right.
strong physique, was the wedge look, but no
Yes.
muscle.
Right, and he gained. You see in this documentary, he worked out a lot and gained
He
a lot
worked
of
out a
weight to
lot.
play Superman.
I think he said he put
Yeah,
like 30 pounds of muscle on.
yeah, he
And
had to
I'm
put on
sorry,
30
man.
pounds
You
of
got
muscle.
you was really rocking that S curl. That S curl in the front. Like
The curl
Yeah,
right there was crazy.
yeah.
That
he
curl
was
was
really rocking.
crazy. That
That
just
curl was
became
crazy.
a signature right there.
Now, can you imagine this? Imagine if somebody would have been smart enough to say, "Yo, let's get Arnold Schwarzenegger to work to get Christopher Reeve to work out."
He would have killed
What'd
him.
you
Yeah.
say? What'd you
Yeah,
say?
you know
I,
what?
I
Yeah.
said, imagine if if somebody in Hollywood, or someone on Donner's team would have been like, you know what, yo, why don't we get Schwarzenegger to work out with Christopher Reeves?
Well, yeah.
And
Well, Schwarzenegger wanted to play Superman. He actually wanted to play. He was one of the people that was. They said Schwarzenegger was stalking them to play Superman. He wanted to play Superman.
Not with that voice. That voice, no, bro.
Exactly. He
The
wanted to play
build, yes. The
Superman.
bro, no. And they wasn't going about to dub it.
Who else? What's his name?
and
Robert
I'm
Redford
yeah,
wanted
and
to
I'm gonna
play
tell you this much.
Superman.
As much as I love, uh, oh God damn it, why did his name just slip my head? Um, um,
Schwarzenegger.
Face Off. Um,
Oh,
Travolta.
Cage. Cage
yeah,
would not have worked. I'm sorry.
Nick
Nicholas
It just
Cage.
Cage.
Nick Cage.
Yeah. As much as I love because I love Nicholas Cage is one of my favorite actors. Um, I could not see, even with that scene, even with them showing him in that scene
The Flash movie.
in Flashpoint. I was like, no, I'm sorry,
you're
no.
gonna have Superman sound like Elvis. No, no, thank you. No, thank you.
So yeah, here's the guy who plays him currently on the show that's now ended, Tyler Hoechlin. And then of course the new guy, David Corenswet,
He looked
who
like Reeves. He
kinda
looked like
they got
he looks like both Reeves
he
and
kind of looks
Cavill.
like Cavill. I'd say he kind of looks like Cavill to me.
Yeah, he got the same square jaw as Cavill, and he kind of sort of got the eye, but Cavill's eyes are a little bit more menacing.
Yeah. Right.
And his forehead is a little flat.
Yeah, they got the same squared off jaw, Cavill and him.
Yeah.
Cavill and there's
Yeah. Oh wait, even their eyebrows are kind of the same. You know what it is?
Yeah.
He has more hair. He has less forehead than his because they comb more
or
of
at
his
least
hair
the way he's
forward.
wearing his hair, it seems that way. But so now we'll see.
See, and this pisses me off. I'm sorry. I know we're trying to stay on course here, but this is what pisses me off about James Gunn. If you're gonna go out your way to find this, it's like the Michael Jai White effect. Oh well, I want to. We want a Michael Jai White esque. Why don't you just get Michael Jai White?
A Michael Jai White type. How about you just get Michael Jai White?
And in this case, look at this guy. You could have just got Henry Cavill.
Right. We're looking for a Henry Cavill type.
Nope, they was never going to do it because they are trying to remove the Snyderverse. You're not going to start your own universe.
Thank you, Ralph. I forgot about that part. I
think that's the biggest thing. If he would continue what Snyder did, you absolutely right. It makes perfect sense to get Cavill, but you're trying to start your own crap, right? And it's going to be this new guy, and we're going to look at him. We're going to be, and even you know what? I'm gonna be honest. Even if it's good, we're going to say, but he ain't Henry Cavill. He ain't Henry Cavill. No matter what he does, no matter how much money this movie makes, be like, he ain't Henry Cavill though.
But here's the funny thing. It's like picking this guy, and this is no knock on him, but picking this actor who really resembles Henry Cavill actually is a testament of how perfect Henry Cavill was as a pick.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. Because when Henry Cavill did come on, a lot, especially maybe not in this picture, but a lot of people was like, "Oh man, he kind of reminds me of Reeve," and it was like, as far as not just the way he looks, but just everything as far as the posture and how he played the role.
I love the suit design personally.
Yeah, I know, and everyone complained about this suit because
the little bit of bagginess they complained about, but I think it gives it a more realistic, humbling feel.
Yeah, look at that. Wait, go back to the suit. Look at that suit. Look at it.
The belt line, everything is good.
Yeah.
Everything. And you know what? 42, thank you for saying that. Because that was one of the things that I loved about Zack Snyder's suit. They moved away from the utility belt looking belt, for lack of a better phrase.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, this suit is built for aerodynamics. Look at how that's like almost like wings, the way that's designed there on the side. I mean, it's designed for him to fly and fly very fast. That's why the suit is form-fitting as well. You shouldn't have a suit with stuff flying around on it. It's other than the cape. The suit should be form-fitting.
And then the raised texture of it, which I'm assuming must be to cut down on the heat. It must be the raised texture must be to cut down on the heat, because obviously the faster you go, the more friction you have against the air, and that would make the suit heat up. So
Yeah.
But see that again, like we were saying a little while ago, like this doesn't look like a spandex suit. This looks like a nanite suit.
Yeah. And that's
it looks more. I know we avoid the word a lot, but it looks more alien. To be fair.
Yeah, it is. It does look more alien, and that's exactly what they were looking for. They designed this costume brilliantly.
I like that the red isn't that big, like bang, like stop sign. It's like all kind of like this darker, dirtier almost look to it. I really like that a lot.
This is what everyone complained about. Not everyone, but this is what all
the crimson. It's a crimson red.
It's fantastic.
It's beautiful.
All of the
and it's
cryberries.
muted.
The
And Wes, you said this the other day, Wes. I think last week when we were talking, or maybe it might have been when me and you were on the phone. The muted tone of the S. And if you look at the cape has more is more, which is supposed to. The cape stands out more than the actual S. The S
The
has
stance
more
is
of a muted
perfect too,
tone.
by the way.
Yeah.
Even
It's
the yellow.
challenging. He's putting his chest forward, his chin's leaned into it, just typical, like what I would expect Superman to act like.
Yeah. Ready. In ready position.
He's ready.
Right there.
Like
He's in
nothing's
that ready
phasing him at that moment. It's beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? You can go pick up a 7-Eleven coffee right here.
Yeah, you see it back there?
Or
Before
really,
you go into
he could
battle.
They slid that in there, didn't they?
well, actually, I'm going to say this, and I know I'm going to make somebody mad somewhere. My name is Bond, James Bond.
I would love.
I agree with Faith down in the chat. The shape looks great. His whole shape thing is good in that whole posture, everything.
The shape looks great. Yeah, I agree. The shape looks great. And yeah, like you just said, Kev, I would love him to get the James Bond role. That would be awesome. It would be interesting.
Can we zoom in on that emblem on his chest? Is there a way we can come in on that?
He's too big to be James Bond. I keep telling you, he's too big.
Come on, Ralph.
That's actually a really good angle. We got it right now, right where you're at.
We need a bully. We need a
Look
bully.
at that,
Bond.
guys. Seriously, that's beautiful. That's like
that's great.
It's not too stark in the middle. It looks great.
Nah, it looks great, and all of these the texture on here, like it was perfect what you said. 42. It looks more alien. It looks like his suit looks like something not of this world, and it should.
Which is why it can block bullets. Why it's so amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It should look like something it shouldn't look like something that your grandmother knitted for you.
No,
that's
Spider-Man.
Something not of this
What are you trying
world.
to say? What are you trying to say? He like Meteor Man? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm just saying it shouldn't look like.
Listen, if you want one of those union suits, you can go get Spider-Man. You know.
But you know what? Yeah, what Western 42 is saying is really true, because that was one of the things that I think that was hard. That seemed kind of be of a problem for translations for all superheroes when making the transition from comic book to film, taking away the homemade sewn kit of it all. Like even Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. His Spider, even though he was supposedly, even though he supposedly was the one who sewed it together. But it didn't look like it. It didn't look like it was sewn together.
The superheroes, it shouldn't.
At first, yeah. Well, I mean, with them, with those guys, Spider-Man was specifically made like that by Stan Lee to, he was the first supposedly relatable superhero because he's a teenager and he put all this stuff together. So, and that's how they ended. Remember how they ended that last Spider-Man movie. He actually did. They took it back to where he sewed the suit. He made the suit himself. He got rid. He no longer had the Tony Stark tech and all that stuff in the suits. He went back to basics and made the suit himself, which is fine for that character. But this character is an alien from another planet.
Dropped here as a baby.
Suit, right. His suit and all of that stuff. All that material was put in when he was sent here. So everything about him, from his clothes on down, is not of this world. So,
and can we keep it a buck? If we kept it a buck, Superman really didn't need a costume. He could have been walking around here like Adam from whatchamacallit, from Watchmen.
Yeah,
but
right.
I think the basis,
like Dr. Manhattan.
Dr. Manhattan.
I think the basis of the Superman suit is supposed to be like more of a nanite type suit, where it's like grown with him and changed with him, and it's part of who he is as an alien. It's not just. It's not a suit.
Right, and it represents. It's really him representing his homeland, his home.
He's representing Krypton, unlike the dog sitting on the moon, huh?
Right. That. Right. Exactly. The House of L. It's representing it's the last. He's the last son of Krypton, so he has that, like I said, I love Christopher Reeves is always going to be my standard for Superman. However, Henry Cavill and Zack Snyder's story for me is the better Superman story because of how they did it. But it was for its once again, it's for its time. Would that story have worked back in the 70s? Probably not. It would have been too heavy-handed for people in the 70s. They would have lost their minds. So it might have scared people back then. But it was for its time, it was perfect. Just like what I keep trying to tell people, the stuff from back in the 70s is and 80s is not gonna work now. It's just not. It's not gonna work now. And if James Gunn thinks now, he said in somewhere about this Superman is obviously very stands on his principles when it comes to not killing and this, that, and the other. But he does get a little dark if pushed. I don't know what he means by that, but I mean, we'll see. I'm honestly, I'm tired of him talking about the damn movie. Go ahead and release the trailer already. Like, release the Kraken.
Super Bowl,
Yeah, like,
Super Bowl Sunday. That's when
yeah,
you see the trailer.
I can see them putting it out as Super Bowl, wait into Super Bowl, put it out. But yeah, so I mean, hey, for me, I'm gonna go, because Reeves set the bar, I'm gonna go Reeve Cavill. It's like 1 and 1A for me, as far as the actors. I think they were very much alike because they both took the role very seriously. Even though Reeves' role was played out. If you go back and watch Superman, of course he had the moments where he smiled and stuff like that, which is fine. That's perfect. That's that warmness that you wanted from him, right? And one thing I have to say is I will say this. One person pointed this out to me, and I will give him this. He said the only problem he had with the Cavill, with Man of Steel, is it might have been a time constraint that they didn't give Zack Snyder, but he just didn't feel invested in Superman and Lois's relationship from the first movie.
And he should, you know what? And he shouldn't. And he shouldn't.
I felt like, but I mean, with them, by the end of the movie, it was kind of like, they had these moments where it's like they're in love. Okay, fine, but it was hard to feel invested in because they just didn't have time. They just didn't really build it. Because see, what happens is here's the difference. This is the difference that Reeve had that Cavill didn't have. Reeve had time to build his relationship with Lois because he already knew Lois as Clark, right?
Right, because you already worked with
they
the very
worked together. Right, they worked together. They spent time together. So there was the way that was written. There was time to make you invest in them, right? Even the times that she was from the times that she was interviewing him to the times that he spent time with her, all that stuff. So it was already kind of like they had time. We spent time with them that way. They didn't have that kind of time with the way Man of Steel played out. Now, he could have always changed it, whatever. Lois was more or less like this relentless. She's always been a relentless, a reporter, but it was more or less like, okay, she was just like, yo, I want to expose this and make this my Pulitzer. And then she decided at the last minute, nah, that ain't the right thing to do. Let me bury this. But then it was too late.
A little too late.
A little too late by then. But but that's where the Donner version, or the original Superman, that's the point that it definitely hit that I feel Snyder's didn't hit, the relationship dynamic between him and Lois Lane. But where Snyder hit, that obviously the other thing didn't hit, is the realism for the time. The realism of this time, the idea of an alien, the idea of what the world would how they would react if they knew an alien was living amongst us, the consequences of him hiding himself by Zod, basically threatening the planet. All of those things is how it would have really played out. And him knocking down the satellites because they're trying to keep tabs on them and stuff like that. That's the realism of it all, of how it really would be if, that's the realism of it all. That's how it really would be. That's what Snyder captured, and he also really captured. He gave you a sense of what Krypton could have been like, or what it was like. In the Donner stuff, you thought, I said it last week. Krypton was, what was this? Is this heaven? Like, what the hell is, why is Krypton all white and all, whatever? And it just was very vague. And Christopher Reeve himself said that Marlon Brando, he's Marlon Brando, and he did a decent job, but he kind of phoned it in, man. Like Marlon Brando wasn't invested in that character at all. He thought it was stupid. He just really did it for the money.
And you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. That shows, as great as Brando is, that's why Nicholson was better, because Nicholson took it seriously. He was not phoning in himself as a Joker when he could have.
No.
But he took it seriously.
He took it serious. He went in, and he went to dark places to get that character to come out the way he wanted to, and he actually warned Heath Ledger about that, which is ironic.
I'm gonna tell you two characters who actually went really dark, and I'm glad that nobody really took on the Riddler yet, because nobody will be able to replace Jim Carrey as the Riddler. I
don't know about that one.
Yeah, no, listen, the final stages of Jim Carrey as the Riddler was the same thing as Nicholson as the Joker. They were very dark, very, brooding. His Riddler was very brooding. Like, it started off, he started off as a character, funny and, but Jim Carrey, Fire Marshal Bill. But then he went from that to something else towards the end, like especially when his brain started getting pumped up with all of that stuff.
He started wilding. But I'm gonna say this, Jim. First of all, Jim Carrey is a brilliant actor. He's a brilliant actor. He's really, he could take. Of course, everybody, the crazy stuff, the funny stuff, the silly stuff, the slapstick comedy, all of that stuff. But Jim Carrey is a phenomenal actor. That's number one. And he could take it.
He could do it
so many different places, man, with his acting ability, period. Mm-hmm. And just like Kev said, he kind of played out as a caricature type player at first. And it got deeper and darker as it went on. It's just a shame that I feel he would have been able to thrive better in a better script.
A better script, and if the script was more focused on his character. If he wasn't really sharing people. If he wasn't sharing as much screen time, I think that would have put him in a better he probably would have been the first Oscar.
He would have been able to do it right, but like I said, man, it's gonna be that'd be interesting, but we'll see. Now the thing
I got someone who I think could play the Riddler, and I was watching him. Bill Bunn. There's something about that guy, like I see him, he's telling jokes, but then he can get super serious on you. like on the drop of a dime. I mean, I don't know if anybody was looking at him to play really because of the way he looks. He's not like a really imposing guy. He looks like an average Joe that you see go when you walk into a bar saying, "Hey, get me a Miller Lite." But there was just something about that guy when I was watching the other day, where he's joking and he's comical, but in like a snap of a finger, he could turn super serious on you. You might want to look at him, Bill Bunn.
Bill Bunn.
Yeah, he's a comedian. If he did Saturday Night Live one time, but he was in oh man, if you saw that movie with Pete Davidson, he played the guy that was dating his Marissa Tomei, and he's been in a couple other things. He was in he played McCarthy's sister in The Heat. He was one of the ones that played his that he played her brother in The Heat. But he's just that dude, and like I said, I don't know if anybody ever took a look at him, but if you wanted someone that could give you that comedic angle, but then get super serious on you, you might want to look at him.
Well, I mean, there's a few people I think could pull it off, but we'll have to see about that. But as far as that goes, man, we'll see. We're still waiting on this. I think that might. I think Grace. What's her name? Grace Randolph or Rudolph, whatever her last name is.
Randolph.
Yes, Randolph. Yeah. She said that that trailer was supposed to drop sometime this week. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if they hold it to Super Bowl, or maybe they'll drop a teaser this week and drop the actual trailer during the Super Bowl. I can see that. But Super Bowl's still a few months away, a couple months away at least. So we'll go from that. So let me bring up let's go over the Golden Globes and then we'll get out of here. But
I'm gonna tell you, I don't care about none of that. I don't care about the Golden Globes. I don't care about Superman. I don't care about none of that. The only thing I care about right now is Nosferatu.
Nosferatu comes out on Christmas
Day.
Christmas Day, yeah.
I'm kind, Kev, I'm kind of with you. I mean, I'm just sitting there saying, like I said, it should not be a Christmas release. It should have been like a late September, early October release. But I have heard it is really, really good. So I guess you better not mess it up.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah, it's gonna be.
That's all I can say is you better not mess it up.
It takes, you know what? But you know it's going to be good because it takes balls to release a vampire movie on Christmas Day. That it takes some kind of ball.
It should make a vampire. Let's make a vampire movie and call it Christmas Sucks.
Yeah, why not?
It's gonna be a vampire Christmas movie. It's called Christmas Sucks.
I'm done right now. I'm just done.
I'm dead serious.
The corniness is very real.
I'm dead serious. You could start it off. You could start it off right with Dracula sitting near his castle playing his piano. He's saying, you know what, man? I'm tired of us.
You think that Red One movie did bad, bro? Come on now.
Hey,
don't talk about that. I haven't seen Red One yet.
I saw Red One actually is pretty good. It's pretty good. But I could literally see that where you had Dracula sitting there, and, playing in his castle, playing his piano. He's saying, and all of a sudden, Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas" comes on. He said, "I'm sick and tired of all this Christmas crap. They seem to forgot about us. They're not scared anymore. So let's reestablish them. Let's make them scared of the night again. On Christmas Day. So you expect the Santa Claus coming down the chimney? Nah, I'm coming down the chimney, and I'm really hungry."
Yikes!
I'm coming down the chimney.
He be like
blah blah blah.
Now he's sitting there and he looking around and he see a glass of cookies. He was like, man, fuck these cookies. Where's the neck at? Where's
yeah, right. So
gonna have to dip these cookies in blood.
Yeah, exactly.
Blood cookies. Yeah. So here we go. Real quick, I'm just gonna highlight some people that really kind of came across. As we know, Wicked was nominated a couple times in the Golden Globes nominations.
They're
Cynthia
probably
Irvino.
gonna win.
Cynthia Irvino got nominated for Best Actress at lead in a leading role, and Ariana Grande got supporting. She got nominated as Best Actress in a supporting role, Best TV or musical. They have a category which is, I don't know. I know this category is new, but I think it's been there a couple of years. Or is it just cinematic and box office achievement? Remember we talked about that last year, I think.
Yeah.
Or they were saying something like that. Which to me doesn't make sense to have nominees, because cinematic
It's a throwaway award.
and box office achievement just means how much money it made. So why don't you just give that award to whoever made the most money this year at the box office, instead of making it nominees? So Alien Romulus is nominated, Beetlejuice, Deadpool and Wolverine, which is probably going to win because it made the most money. Gladiator 2, Inside Out 2, Twisters, Wicked again, and The Wild Robot. All nominated.
Well, if that's
for
the case,
best.
it should be. Well, honestly, if that's the case, that should be Inside Out 2. Inside 2's made the most money. Not
It's
Deadpool.
Inside Out 2. Yeah, probably Inside that. If that made more money than Deadpool and them, then they should just hand it to that. And then you got it's Best Picture. Best performance, by a female actor in a motion picture drama. You got Pamela Anderson for The Last Showgirl, which is, that movie is out. Angelina Jolie for Maria. Nicole Kidman for her movie Baby Girl, that's getting a lot of publicity right now. I sent an article out there where they talked about, of course, all of these so-called moral superiority people of this generation. Cracks me up how they say it. Oh, they were appalled because Nicole Kidman said that she got so into shooting the sex scenes she almost really had an orgasm or something like that, and everyone was appalled that she said that.
Yeah, they were really freaked out about it.
Yeah, I was like, what? Why are y'all so mad, yo?
I mean, it's got to be pretty rough. I mean, again, can we go back to Eyes Wide Shut? She was in that, and that didn't do that to her. So let's just.
Yeah.
But are we forgetting that this is a married woman? Like, the person who should really be concerned is the husband. Like why is everybody else appalled? The one person who should be appalled.
It just means he's going to get away with more now. He can just put on a movie for her now.
Yeah, right.
Shit, that's not for nothing. That's what oh goddamn Kelly Rowland said when she was doing that Spike Lee, that Tyler Perry movie. She said, "Man, you know how much more pussy I gave my husband because of that."
Yeah.
You know how many more times I was more intimate with my husband because of that movie?
Yeah. So, let's see what else sticks out. Best male performance. Best performance by a male in an actor motion picture drama. Adrian Brody, The Brutalist. What else stands out? Daniel Craig, Coleman Domingo, and Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice. Interesting.
You're gonna win an Oscar for playing Donald Trump. Ain't that some bull?
But you know what? I hate to say it, but he probably might win because you can't even tell that that's Sebastian Stan.
Yeah, he did a good job. He's a really good character actor. That's why I really wish they go ahead and make him Luke Skywalker, because he's a very good character actor, and he'd be able to pull it off. He already kind of looks like Mark Hamill.
Wait, no, he played Skywalker. He's already done that. I mean, in The Mandalorian, when Skywalker comes back on the scene, that's not Mark Hamill. That's Sebastian Shaw.
No, it's not. No, it is not. That is Mark Hamill and another like a stunt actor. That was actually
I
Mark
heard
Hamill that they used when they did the deep fake and made him. Obviously, it wasn't him. It was someone else's body, but it wasn't Sebastian Stan. It was like a stunt person
it was
body,
Sebastian
another
Stan.
actor. Nah, that's what people thought or hoped it was. That was more like wishful thinking. Because Sebastian Stan wouldn't really need deep fake. He kind of looks like Mark Hamill a little bit. If they gave him good makeup, people would accept him as Luke Skywalker. They wouldn't have to do deep fake to him. But when they did that in The Mandalorian, that was actually Mark Hamill. That they used him as the foundation to do the deep fake and to do the CGI. Yeah, he did that scene. There's if you look at the on Disney Plus, you look at the behind the scenes of it, you'll see Mark Hamill was right there, dressed in the same black Luke Skywalker outfit. And they I guess they shot him doing it. Then they shot the other actor who's more who was doing all of the stunts and stuff, doing it, and that's how they came up with it. But a lot of people were hoping it was Sebastian Stan because
Oh,
that became the rumor that became the he should play, and he is a very good character actor because when he plays an actor, you don't see Sebastian Stan no more. You see that character. He did it with Trump, and he did it with Tommy Lee. He played Tommy Lee in that show on Hulu. Tommy Lee and Pam. I mean, that dude, he really looked like Tommy Lee. He reminds you of Tommy Lee, man. I was like, yo, that guy's a very good character actor. So I love to see
Yeah, him and God rest his soul, Chadwick Boseman. Them two dudes
great
know
character
how to get.
actors. Yeah,
They
yeah.
know how to
I
get
mean,
immersed. I mean,
yeah.
think about all the characters that I don't know. We're gonna get back to the Golden
Mm.
Globes, but all of the characters that Chadwick played, he mostly did autobiographies. He
Yeah,
Thurgood
he did a lot of biopics. Yeah, he did a lot of
Yes.
them.
Thurgood
Yeah.
Thurgood
Rest in
Thurgood
peace.
Marshall, Jackie
Now he
Robinson.
didn't look like Thurgood Marshall, but that was
He
just
didn't.
because the family wanted him to play that character. He didn't look
Yeah,
nothing
but
like
he,
Thurgood
but
Marshall. Thurgood Marshall was a very
he
light skinned guy.
yeah, very
He didn't
very
look,
light skinned. But let me
yeah.
tell you something. He pulled it off though.
Well, he pulled it off. He did a great job, and the family
Mm-hmm.
wanted him to play it. That's why he did what he did. So, best performance by a female actor in a motion picture or musical. They had Amy Adams for Night Bitch. I always laugh at that title. Cynthia
Irvo.
what's that? Irvo.
It's
That's
Irvo.
it's Irvo. ERIVO.
It's Irvo. Yeah, it's Irvo.
Irvo. It's pronounced Irvo. It's really weird the way that's pronounced, but yeah. Cynthia Irvo for Wicked. Uh, Demi Moore for The Substance, which actually was a good movie.
I don't
Um,
understand why that's in a musical or a comedy. It's neither. It's
yeah, it's neither. I don't know why they put that there. But the Golden Globes do that all the time. They just like throw movies in there that don't belong in that category. Why wouldn't that have gone under drama? At least,
mm-hmm.
I
I'm
mean, it
gonna
was
tell
really a
you why.
thriller.
I'm gonna tell you
It
why.
was like a drama
I'm gonna
thriller.
tell you why. It's to throw a curveball at Cynthia Irvo. That's why.
Yeah, and then you
I
got
I don't
Zendaya
know,
for
man.
the
I think
challenges.
Cynthia. I really got this feeling that Cynthia is pretty much going to sweep everything this year because it's pretty. I think it's
Yeah,
pretty much hers to lose.
yeah, yeah. I think so. And then we have Sebastian Stan in another movie. He did two movies this year. A Different Man was another movie he was in. Um, See now, yeah. So they got Glenn Powell for Hitman and underperformance for a musical comedy. See, that's what I'm saying. See, Hitman could be considered a comedy as well, or like an action comedy or whatever. Um, so yeah, I don't know what that's all about. And then of course, a supporting role in a motion picture. They got Ariana Grande for Wicked. It's in there. Selena Gomez, Felicity Jones, The Brutalist, Margaret Qualley, Isabella Rossellini, and Zoe Saldana. So, best performance in let's see, Edward Norton, Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce. A lot of these movies I didn't see. They got Denzel Washington. They put Denzel Washington in best supporting by a male actor in a supporting role in any motion picture. What is with these categories in any motion picture?
And honestly, I think Denzel gonna get another Oscar for Gladiator. I really truly do. I think I do. Because I mean he is the most outstanding thing in the entire movie. I mean it's a good movie, but him, you know, I think
Let's not waste an Oscar on Gladiator.
You know what? You know what?
Listen, they shouldn't have wasted any digital film on Gladiator.
but you know what? You know why I'm saying that for Gladiator, because Denzel came out with that statement where he was talking about losing Best Actor to Kevin Spacey. Yeah, he got all turned off from the Oscars. He was like, I don't, you watch the show, because he was like, there's no way American Beauty beat me in The Hurricane, and I agree with him. I think he was robbed, And then I said, I think Training Day was the makeup for that mistake. But now that Denzel has put out there how much it really bothered him, I think Gladiator 2 is the makeup for, we really messed up with Denzel. Because not only did he get robbed for that one, I mean, kind of he got robbed for Malcolm X too.
Oh, not kind of. He definitely did.
He definitely did. Yeah.
He definitely got robbed for that. I mean, if we talk about transforming into a character, I mean, Jesus Christ. But best director, you got for Emily Perez, Honora, Conclave, The Brutalist. I didn't see none of these movies. The Substance I saw. I'm gonna have to go on my little
one is missing.
Oscar
watch. One of them is missing. The guy Alex Lagland that did a Civil War. I think Civil War was one of the best movies of the year. That was just like, wow.
Oh, they didn't even put him in there.
He's not even in there, and that's part because if you see all the stuff come out September to now, where that came out I think in March or something, it was way too early. Yeah. But if you saw it, it's a damn good scary movie. It's not even trying to be scary, but it's a real life glimpse into what might happen in the next 2 years. Frankly.
Yeah. Best television series for drama, Day of the Jackal on Peacock, The Diplomat on Netflix, Mr. and Mrs. Smith on Prime Video, Shogun, FX, Hulu, Slow Horses.
Shogun was good.
Shogun was
fantastic, actually.
Squid Game.
Yeah.
Squid Game. Did they had another season of Squid Game? Why is it being considered?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, they did. Okay. I'm like, I didn't watch. That was one of those series that I didn't get into. Yeah, I that always happens to me where everybody's, oh my god, they're all talking about one thing, and I'm just like, nah, I didn't see it, and I just didn't get into it. My wife watched it; she loved it. But best TV series, musical comedy, of course, they got Abbott Elementary, The Bear, The Gentleman. Oh, The Gentleman on Netflix. That's interesting. That's not a musical or a comedy either, in my opinion. But The Gentleman, Hacks, Nobody Wants This, and Only Murders in the Building. TV, a limited series, anthology series, or motion picture made for television. Oh, that's a mouthful.
It's
Baby Reindeer. That's more than a mouthful.
It took longer to say that than probably to learn the lines for that damn movie.
I know. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
I'm a little bitter, just a little.
No, that is pretty funny though. That's true though. That was I was ready to grab my damn.
I can't help it. I have a really weird sense of humor sometimes, but that right there, gonna need an inhaler.
That's what I just did. I just took an inhale puff.
Listen.
Like Jesus.
Hey, my
Penguin,
dude.
The Penguin is nominated.
The Penguin. I was just in the same boat, my guy.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Damn near killed me.
Damn near killed me. The Penguin's nominated. That's interesting.
As it should be.
As it should be.
As it should be.
Yeah. That's cool. Motion picture made for television or anthology series, limited series. Yeah, the Penguin that might win. The True Detective though, Night Country, that was actually pretty good.
Wait, Penguin ain't messing with that. Penguin is not messing with that. And I love the Penguin, but it ain't messing with Night Country. Boy, Night Country was something else, boy.
That was good. That was good. I mean, Jodie Foster back doing her thing, man. Doing her Jodie Foster
and that boxer chick, they bodied that. They bodied that.
Yeah. So then you got best performance by a female actor in a TV drama series. Kathy Bates for Matlock. Emily Darcy for House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
Maya Erskine for Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Keira Knightley for Black Doves. Curry Russell for The Diplomat. Anna Sowe for Shogun. And then the male actor in a drama series, Donald Glover, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Jake Gyllenhaal, Presumed Innocent. Gary Oldman, Slow Horses. Eddie Redmayne, The Day of the Jackal. Hiroshiki Sanada, Shogun, and Billy Bob Thornton, Landman.
That show is so. Let me tell you something. Listen, I gotta give MTV Productions props. There's a lot of good shows that come out of that production house for MTV. You got that. You got The Lioness, and there's like 4 or 5 other shows that comes out of that MTV wheelhouse that comes on Paramount. And Billy Bob Thornton, that whole cast on there for the Landing is dope. That show is so awesome, man.
I think where they're gonna happen, I kind of go with you on this one, Kev. I don't know if the Penguin will beat out Night Country, but they do have Colin Farrell nominated for Best Actor in a drama. I mean, a series, and the same thing: limited series, anthology series, a motion picture made for television.
Yeah.
I don't see Stallone. I don't see Stallone's name up here.
Oh man, that would have been nice. He should have been up there for the Tulsa King. Yeah, he was killing that. But they got Colin Farrell, Richard Gadd, Kevin Kline, Cooper Koch. Oh, Cooper Koch from the Kyle and Eric Menendez story. So they got him in there. Interesting. And for female supporting role for television, Dakota Fanning for Ripley, Baby Reindeer, Jessica Gunning, Allison Janney for The Diplomat. A lot of these movies I got to go back and go ahead. And they already got for stand-up comedy. And this is what we'll end the show with this. Jamie Foxx's stand-up comedy show comes out tomorrow. It's called What Had Happened Was. They got that already on here on the nomination list. Best performance in stand-up comedy on television. Jamie Foxx, What Had Happened Was. Nikki Glazer, Someday You'll Die, which was actually pretty funny. Seth Meyers, Dead Man Walking. Adam Sandler, Love You. Ali Wong, Single Lady. And Rami Youssef, More Feelings. So Jamie Foxx thing actually comes out.
This is some bullshit. They left.
I just have to second that. It is some bullshit. There isn't a whole lot to be nominated, to be fair.
A whole lot. They're
digging, like they're pulling out old crap and everything. This is sad.
Yeah.
I saw some Asian woman was on. I don't know her name, but she was on HBO like around February, March, and I thought she was funny as hell. I cannot tell you her name because I do not remember.
It wasn't Ali Wong.
It was not Ali Wong. It was some other woman.
And I thought she
Okay.
was funny. The Nikki Glazer thing. I mean, look, Nikki Glazer was funny, but the bulk of her comedy bit was talking about her having anal sex and getting eaten out. I was like, that's your whole comic bit, is those two things? It's like, huh? But I wish I could remember the name of that woman. I mean, remember, she was just on the red carpet this night for some movie that came out, and she's in the movie. She was on the red carpet. And I wish I knew what her damn name was.
Yeah, I'm
well,
really surprised. There's nothing from Apple TV that seems to have got nominated for anything.
Well, no, there was a couple things. Is it Mr. and Mrs. Smith from Apple TV, or is that?
Oh yeah, that was. Yeah, that wasn't that
And
great
then,
though.
the disclaimer is called, that's Apple TV. Slow Horses, Apple TV.
Yeah, Slow Horses. That's Apple TV.
What else? So there's a couple.
Maybe let me change what I said. The stuff that I thought should have gotten some nominations didn't.
Yeah, I'm surprised that show still on Apple TV, the one with Jennifer Aniston, or is it gone off? That show was getting a lot of awards nominations before. The one where she's like a talk show. What's that? A talk show or something?
The morning show.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
on there.
Show. Is that off? Or
no,
it's
still on there. It's still on there.
Oh, okay. Was that nominated on here? The morning show?
No, I didn't hear you say it.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I might have skipped over it or whatever. But yeah, these are the only Apple TV shows that are standing out, it seems like.
I mean, damn, you had Invasion, you had whatchamacallit, Invasion, the other show, the other show, the hell's the name of that show with what's his face? God damn it. And Apple got some good sci-fi shows on there that I thought probably should have gotten nominated, but I guess not.
Yeah, but sci-fi shows hardly get nominated, honestly. There's not too many that, sci-fi shows very rarely, it's like horror movies. Very rarely they get nominated for stuff. So it's just something that just never happens. So, but that's pretty much that, man. Overall, we'll see. I believe that Wicked is definitely going to make a
Wicked's going to definitely win some awards. I have no doubt.
Yeah, it's going to win. It's going to have a nice festival, not festival run, but
it was very well done. I mean, it's in a proper category to get what it's going to get, so I don't see why not. But I mean, I don't understand. Like Gladiator 2 is just, I'm sorry, but it's weak. It's really weak.
There's a lot of plot holes in it. A lot of things that don't make sense. That's why I said the only thing that made sense was Denzel. He's the only thing that really truly made sense.
You got robbed by putting in a bad movie. That's what happened.
Well, Denzel is going to be, he already said what he wants to do, in I guess in the second half of his career, is all he wants to do now is work with great directors that he's always either had worked with or had not worked with, but he just want to work with great directors, which is why he accepted a role in the new Black Panther movie whenever that comes out, because he wants to work with Ryan Coogler. Like, he's only accepting roles working with directors that are great directors that maybe he hasn't worked with yet. He wants that opportunity. So we don't know what his role is going to be in Black Panther, but he has accepted.
He gonna be the Queen's new boo. That's what he gonna be.
Queen
from
is
another
dead.
country. From another country.
But yeah,
I'll take that role.
Yeah. I know, right? I'll do it. So we'll see. But yeah, man, good stuff. Want to shout out everybody that came through into the chat room. Shout out to 42's people that came through and said what's up. We appreciate the engagement. Of course, Joseph Tanner always holding us down in the chat rooms. 42, do you have any parting words? Anything you like to say? Any thoughts you have from tonight of anything that we talked about?
I think generally we covered like a lot of really good material tonight. Some of it was already controversial before we started, To be fair, you know what I mean? Like, this stuff is being nominated for Golden Globes, and we're kind of like, why are they doing this? You know? So my thoughts are like, your opinions are valid, all of you, just like realistically, just to put it out there. Even the people in the chat, if you don't agree with everything that's said here, just remember you're valid on that. We're looking at it from a different perspective sometimes. Like Wes might be looking at it from a director's perspective. I might be looking at it from a production or acting perspective at one time, and everybody might have a different way they're coming at this. So you're pretty valid. I just want to put that out there with all the stuff we went over. And I still think, even though Christopher Reeve is the standard, I do think I like the British accent better. I do personally think that I like the whole persona. I think it's I think that's the right Superman. I do. Like, it's modern, it's
Cavill.
good. Yeah, Cavill, without a doubt. Because we were talking about how we could rank them the best, and with a lot of thought. I love the classics because they're classics, not because they're the greatest Superman that ever lived.
And
Cavill's,
listen,
without a doubt, I
Great way
think.
to put it.
I think if he's given
agree.
Silver Screen, he could be huge.
And I agree with you, but Wes, you know how I feel about this. Two of the greatest superheroes of all time right now is three. Josh Brolin as Thanos, Ben Affleck
He's
as
not a
Batman,
superhero.
Ben Affleck as Batman, and Henry Cavill as Superman. I mean, I'm still, y'all gonna be mad at me. I don't know how we're gonna review this show. 42. I hope you're coming back to review Superman.
Listen, you guys want me here anytime, I will be here, because like, I am loving your company. That's something else I can say in the closing, I guess, is I am loving the company. I like the camaraderie. I like how everybody has a different view, like I was explaining earlier when we were just talking. I like the kindness of everybody that's on this show. I like how they've been to my people. My people seem to really like coming here, which makes me want to be here even more, because they're having a good time. They're enjoying it, man. And I can give you a couple sneak peeks. I left Wes a message about a couple peeps I want to bring over to say hello to you guys soon. One of them is my buddy Pyro, who was in Black Panther 2, by the way. So I want to bring him over to meet all y'all and to say hi. If anybody has questions about that kind of stuff, it'd be kind of fun. I'm also going to bring. I've asked Preston Steele, the Hall of Fame wrestler, if he'd come over. He was a co-actor in a small production we did, and he's more than willing to come over and talk about all the stuff he's working on. He's more than willing to meet you guys. He's like so excited about it. He's such a nice guy. You're gonna love him. So I've got a couple more people on the table, so you can't stop me from coming back now. Now I'm invested.
It's awesome. Perfect.
So I love that you have allowed me this beautiful chair in your council chambers, and I feel like a real Jedi today.
But we cannot call you master yet.
Not yet, but I'm a Jedi.
Anakin. Do it.
I'll take what I can get.
Anakin.
Well, no, Kev, since you put
I won't
it
go
like
Anakin on you, I promise.
I mean, Kev, since you put it like that, I'm going to sit there and say I'm going to find it hard for someone to be better than Margot Robbie as Harley. And I'm sorry, man. I still don't think, although he won an Oscar too, I still don't think Phoenix was better than Ledger as the Joker. I just don't. I think he was good, but I don't think he was better than him.
If it was if it was just the first movie and not I'm basing it off the first movie.
On the first movie.
I can't really sit there and say that he's
hard.
Better. It's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard.
First, it's hard to say that because number one, it's hard to compare them only because of the fact that obviously they're two different movies and they're two different versions of the Joker, right? But of course you could compare and say who did you like better.
The Dark Knight is really like this really dark chapter in Gotham. It's really
Yeah.
That's my favorite without a doubt. But that was it's that chapter that gets under your skin and lets you know why Batman does it, how filthy it really is.
Yeah. And see me. Now, what I would say is that despite the fact that Ledger passed, if I really look at it, Ledger was just getting warmed up because I think he was, because if what Nolan said that he was going to be focal point of the third movie too, Ledger was just getting warmed up. You really didn't see him as he would have. The third movie, it would have been ridiculous. They probably
Yeah,
wouldn't
by
even
the
get
third
invaded.
movie, he would have been the Joker that we saw in Injustice, the one that turned Superman, made Superman go over the edge, the one that tied a bomb to Lois Lane and and made Superman and hit Superman with the fear gas laced with kryptonite, and made him kill his own wife and baby. That's the Joker that Heath Ledger would have evolved to.
And you know what? Not only would that would have been who he would have evolved to, but that's where he would have won his Oscar if he was still alive. I
Now
think
you know what? Now
he would have won it alive as opposed to winning it,
passed away.
Posthumously,
yeah.
I might agree with you with that one. I think if he hadn't passed away, he would not have won the Oscar that year. It might have, frankly, it probably went to Downey because it might have went to Downey that year. For Tropic Thunder. I mean, I might have had to give it to him just alone.
So to be all cliche about this, right? We're going to be same bat time, same bat channel.
Same bat time, same bat channel next time. And definitely, everybody, peace out. You know how we do. Don't forget about us. We thank 42 for joining us. We're going to have them back. Hey, man, you might as well just close out the year with us if you want to.
I'm staying. You stuck with me now, man. You adopted me.
All right, that's
what's up. And that's what's up, man. So everybody, peace out. Have a good night. And we didn't do it last week, Kev, but we're gonna do it this week.
Thank you.
It never would have won. Never.
And sha-la-la-la one more time.
Even with the tiebreaker, that wasn't gonna win. I'm just telling you.
Oh yeah, the other.
You know something? That reminds me.
Don't get us
that reminds me.
What? Didn't anybody even bring up the greatest American hero? I mean, come on now.
Yes, we did. But I think I was thinking about this, and I don't know why. I actually know why I was thinking about this, but I think we need to redo that over again. Because
no, what's done is done.
If you redo that again, he's not getting on the ballot. I'm just telling you because I'm here now.
I mean, I am happy with the way that it turned out, but there are just so many people that is holding this ball of hate of me and Kev about Al Jarreau. And
I feel like we've been sharing Thanksgiving turkey for like years already.
It's like I really don't know and it's like I really don't know what to say, folks. I can't help you, but he lost. Get over it.
They don't want to.
I'm sorry. He lost. He lost.
Like I said, Ralph, when that person approached you at the convention and said that, I was done. You told me that I was ready to fall out my chair. But yeah, man. So anyway, bye everybody. Thank you.
Don't you forget about me.